It's me. It is I, Nomadic Kitty. Welcome to my live stream. It has been a very interesting, another busy week. Let me, okay, let me adjust some settings. Let me adjust my chat filter settings. Hey, everybody, welcome to my weekly K-pop live stream. Oh my God, I got stuff all over my face. This has been a very hectic weekend in my real life, my non K-pop life. But welcome to my weekly K-pop live stream. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. I normally do my live streams on Saturday nights unless I have something to do. I did have something. My son had homecoming Saturday night, so that's why I'm here on Sunday night. But I'm usually here on Saturday nights, and yeah. I got my alphabet glasses on. I got the poof that I don't like it. But we're gonna fight through it. We're gonna suffer through the poofy wig. We're just gonna suffer through it. Cause I normally don't wear hair, but we're gonna make it through it today, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm a little poofy poof today. But which normally I don't like all the poof. I like waves, not poofs. But I welcome everybody. What are we going to be talking about today? What do I do in my live streams? In my live streams, we have a format. I have set a new format, ladies and gentlemen. Our format is, first we're going to talk about BTS updates. We're going to talk about HYBE updates. Hello, Marsha. We're going to talk about, so first BTS updates and everything's going on with the members. Then we're going to talk about HYBE, ADOR, Jin, all that updates. Then we're going to talk about all the updates just in the K-pop genre and what's going on in the K-pop, and then we're going to talk about what's going on in South Korea, and then after that we're going to have a free-for-all. Hello, Katina. Well, hello, my new members. If you want to be a member, sign up. Again, I was supposed to give away memberships this week, and once again, I didn't have my computer set up, so I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate all my members. With the memberships, you get early access to my videos. I will be giving, I also talk about K-pop gossip in my post or community tab. I don't know whatever they call it, post community tab, whatever. You're a member, you're able to see the hot tea K-pop tea that I write in my post called K-pop Confidential. And so I will put things about the entertainment industry. Hello, Shelling P. I put things about the K-pop industry and for my members. I have shorts, videos. Thank you, Chantel Venter. And yeah, if you become a member, and I promise you guys will have more perks being a member. Also, I opened a K-pop store. This is actually my first shirt. I ordered a bunch of other merchandise as just a sample, but actually this shirt, hello ATP86, this shirt says grown sexy in K-pop. This is the shirt I just ordered. This is an extra large. I wanted something bigger. I wanted like a night shirt, but I ordered a sample just to see, I want to see what kind of merchandise is out there. So this is one of my shirts. Thank you, Chantel. And this is one of my shirts that I have. I have many designs. I've since I first started my K-pop store. It's only been around 2 weeks, but right now we're having 25% off. For my members, I'm going to create particular promotions just for people who want to be in the membership. I'll provide like discount codes and stuff like that. And I have more t-shirts that I'm ordering. I plan to order at least one of everything. And in my store, it's more than t-shirts. There's designs, and you can get t-shirts, hats, hoodies if you like a particular design. If you need to make a request for something, I take requests. Last week, I took a bunch of requests. So at the end of this live stream, I'm going to take requests again. And you guys gave me some really good ideas. And this week, I worked hard on making it happen. So I have original K-pop fan t-shirts. Again, a lot of the K-pop t-shirts that I saw online, no shade to anybody, they were really cutesy. They weren't really for older people or people who are, I wouldn't, of a certain age. They're very cutesy. And I like pink and purples. Well, no, I don't. I'm not really into pink and purples, but I wanted something that was for older K-pop fans. And so that's why I did designs that are something unique, and then also something that's catering to K-pop fans who are of a certain age and don't want to wear t-shirts with cutesy little anime characters on it. I see those kind of t-shirts online all the time. I go to K-pop concerts and I see older fans wearing those t-shirts, and I love my K-pop, but I don't want to wear those shirts, y'all. gonna be honest with y'all. I don't want to wear those shirts. I do not want to wear a shirt that has like a little schoolgirl on it. It gives me a real weird, like a feeling in my gut. Like I'm too grown to be wearing a shirt with some cute flowers and hearts and butterflies, and I'm like, my K-pop flavor is very grown and very sexy. So that's why I was like, I want to create shirts for people that are a bit different than what I see on Amazon and what I see fan made shirts that people wear at K-pop concert, because it's a little bit too cutesy for me. So that's why I've grown sexy in K-pop. This is my first design because I'm grown and I'm sexy and I'm K-pop, and I know there's a lot of grown and sexy ladies and men out there who love K-pop, and we're older fans, and we want something a little bit that's a little a little different. I have a shirt that says K-pop baddie, established second generation, established third generation, established fourth generation. So yeah, I want to be a K-pop baddie. I don't know about you. I don't want to be a little girl. I'm not a little girl. I'm a baddie. I'm not a little girl. I want to be a little girl. So yeah, I do. My K-pop baddie is my most recent design. It's pretty cute. Like people were like, "Oh, that's so cute." I was like, "Yeah, I'm a K-pop baddie." Like, and then again, represent your generation: second generation, first generation, third generation, fourth, even some fifth generations. They like, okay, we want that too. But yeah, I just wanted something that was a bit more modern and more eclectic and different for K-pop fans. So you could be a K-pop fan without really saying you a K-pop fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, without people looking at you like, how old are you wearing a shirt with a little butterfly on it? You like, okay, just something for y'all out there. My McDonald's Tiny Tans adventures are over as of right now. Um, yeah, you can. Yeah, if you go to my shop is linked to my YouTube channel, and they have different colors. They have different sizes. They have small all the way up to 4X, and the shirts you can customize it in any color you want. They have from white all the way to black. They have yellow, blue, orange, purple, pink, and then you just click on the color you want, and it'll show you what it looks like and whether it's for you or not. We have bags, we have mugs, we have hats, and then if there's something on there that you specifically want, then let me know. You can go to subscribe to my channel and go to my post section, and if you leave a message on any one of my posts or any one of my videos, I get the messages. It pops up in my notifications. So anytime someone leaves a message, y'all will see me reply really quickly, even in my YouTube shorts. So if you want something, just send me just drop a message in one of my videos, or like I said, the easiest way is to go to my post or community tab and comment on one of my post or community tab, like the most latest one, and it'll pop up real quick, and I'll usually respond. Y'all see that I respond really quickly. You can't wait for your shirt. I appreciate it, Marie Miller. But yeah, you guys see that I respond. My Tiny Tans adventure has ended, by the way. I just have to say that before we get into my Tiny Tans adventure has ended. My sister-in-law, she actually has a coworker that has a daughter that bought Happy Meals, and she actually has Suga. And so her coworkers gave it to my sister-in-law, Jennifer, and she's like, I'm gonna give this to you. So she's going to give me, and she got the second edition Suga, the one that I wanted. So the daughter got that, and then she also has a second edition J-Hope. And I told her, she's like, do you want this one too? I was like, yeah, because all I kept getting was the same Jin and the same J-Hopes over and over again. If you watch my videos, I show you guys that I kept getting the same ones over and over again. So that's just a brief quick hit on my lame ass Tiny Tan. You give your Sugar, but you only one. That's okay, Marie. I'm finna get it as soon as see my sister-in-law. I will see her this weekend. We are going to the BTS weeks, and I will talk about that in a minute. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is talk about BTS updates. Where should I start? Let's start with RM. So our boy RM was at a I always want to say run walk. I don't know why. He was at a fashion event in Milan, Italy. He is a brand ambassador for what's the name of the brand? Beneda Viaga. Is that the name of the brand? Let me see. Am I pronouncing it right? While I butcher these people's. I don't know anything about like name brand labels, y'all. So y'all have to excuse me. Like I know who Louis Vuitton and Gucci is. Bottega Veneta. That's the name of the brand. Bottega Veneta. So he was at the fashion show, and he was sitting next to actress Uma Thurman. Did y'all see that? He was sitting right next to Uma Thurman. Like I was like, is that actress Uma Thurman? That was her. And so he was there. It didn't seem like RM was there for very long. He didn't seem like he was there for very long for the after party, whatever. Yeah, RM and Jin. Oh, you RM and Jin bias. That's okay, girl. You know, it's all right, Maria. I appreciate you, girl. But so RM, he was looking stylish. I'm looking at a picture of him on my TV. Y'all know I pull up my TV and my internet. And so he had like this khaki colored sweatshirt and pants, and they always do this like this little promo and where they're and he had wore these sunglasses and his hair. I love his hair. Like I didn't when I saw his hair on the Weverse and at the movie premiere, him and V went to a movie premiere. I didn't really like it. But when I see him at this fashion show, I love his hair. I think it looked so good with the lights and the camera, and it's like a dyed brown. It has brown. It's like a frosted brown, and I didn't like it at first when I saw it on Weverse, but I really like his hair. Katina said, "Yeah, looking very good." He was ready to get to that museum. You can tell that kind of RM was kind of over it. That he's contractually obligated, so this wasn't something he did for fun. He This is a working thing. Whenever they're brand ambassadors, they're required to go to fashion shows. They're required to do promos. They're required to show at the after party. I don't think RM he stayed there for very long. It didn't seem like he stayed there for very long at all. So that's where just like when JK went to Calvin Klein, that it's a working thing. It's not like them doing it for fun. Um, yeah, we're gonna get to the sugar picks in a minute. We're gonna say the best for last, the sugar picks. Yeah, yeah, you can tell that place was not RM's vibe at all. Like it's a very like actors and actresses and fashion people. You could tell that RM was just like, let's just get it over with. Also, RM posted a European vlog. So RM went to Europe when he got out of the military. He went to Switzerland and some other. So he did a vlog and they posted it on YouTube on the Bangtang YouTube channel, and I watched it, and it was a very cute vlog of him in Europe, and it was very cute. Katina says he put in his FaceTime and he had tickets for where he wanted to go. Is that what it was? But anyway, RM's European vlog, if you have not checked it out, is very interesting just to see him. You saw a thumbnail for that? Yeah, just to see RM go around and I was watching, some of the stuff, what was happening. And it like they have videos online showing where he arrived and stuff like that. And you guys can watch that. But RM looked very, very nice. But yeah, his European vlog was very cool. Did y'all watch that? Oh, Marie says she watched it twice. You hopefully does one from Milan. I like his vlogs. His vlogs are very interesting. They're very like quippy, and you can see him having fun. And like I've always said, to me, RM is just a guy. Like RM is really like just a guy. Like I like that he's just a normal guy. Like he does normal guy things and hangs out with his friends and be goofy and go to art museum. I love that RM gives this very like unassuming, even though he's one of the richest people in South Korea, he gives this vibe that RM to me just wants to be a guy. Like he just wants to be a guy, you guys. And I think that like after BTS is all over, I picture that RM will kind of take some time off and maybe go explore and travel and just be himself, because RM seems like he really likes going to art museums and traveling and just being a normal person and not being like celebrity Namjoon. And he just comes across to me. I really find him endearing because RM is just a guy. He's just a guy. He just wants to go hang out. He's just a person. He doesn't like doing pretentious things, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with them enjoying their success. They should. But I just love the fact that RM is just a dude. He's always been a dude. Wants to go to restaurants, wants to hang out with his friends, want to eat good food. He just wants to like live a normal life. Marie Miller said, been married to a RM and Jim type for 27 years. You could hang out on vacation with. Yeah, RM is like the type of dude you'd hang out on vacation with. I tell you all the time that my late husband is a Jin. I married a Jin. For sure. I married a Jin for sure. Like my late husband was very Jin-like. His personality was very much like Jin. Like I was funny. And speaking of Jin, let's move right along. Jin was at a fashion. He was at a Gucci, and the promotion. Did y'all see the little promo thing that Jin did for Gucci? It is so Jin. It's like Jin. It's like he's sitting and has his bag and his stuff is all dumped. That is so Jin. Jin is so like just yank stuff out of the bag and throw stuff on the floor. So you see the promo for Jin, and I watched it this morning. I was dying. If you have not seen it, watch this on YouTube after the live stream, of course. But the Jin promo, it was so hilarious because there's stuff all over the floor. Like Jin's like throwing stuff out of his bag, and then he's like, "Oh, invitation." It was very much like Jin. It was very, very Jin, very, very Jin. It was very cute, very Jin, and I was cracking up. He wants to open a cafe with the art gallery attached. Is that what RM wants to do, Shelling P? You know who has a cafe with an art gallery attached? Suga. Just letting y'all know. Suga. Did y'all know that? Anyway, I'll get to Suga in a minute, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Jin was there for Gucci. If you look at videos on my shorts, I have a video of Jin, the fan cam they had. And Jin, first of all, Jin had this shirt that the shirt knew the assignment, okay? Like, did the shirt know the assignment, y'all? The shirt got the memo. So when Gucci, I don't know who dressed him. I don't know if Gucci dressed him or Jin dressed himself, because sometimes the artists get a choice of clothes. Like they'll send them like messages and emails of what different outfits. So sometimes they'll just show up and then they'll dress them and they'll ask them. They'll have like a whole rack and then they'll ask them, well, what do you want to wear? And then sometimes the artist will just let them pick. So I don't know who picked this outfit. I'm assuming it's not Jin. Jin is a very modest kind of guy, but this shirt knew the assignment. Like the shirt was like, so I'm pretty sure Jin did not pick out this outfit because he's a very modest guy. But the shirt was shirting. Like the shirt is low cut all the way down. It was unbuttoned all the way down here. And then when Jin sat down, it was just like, do-do-do. Like it parted like the Red Sea, like it was Moses. And the shirt parted the waters like the Red Sea. Yes, he mentioned that using all the art that he's collected. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait. And then, yeah, we're going to get to Tay in a minute. They must have dressed him because he buttoned it. Yes, he sat down and it parted like the Red Sea. And then you can see Jin just like, shit. And then, because Jin is very modest. So Jin is very modest. So he did not want to sit there with his shirt all open. And Jin was just sitting there. Every time Jin goes to do these runway, Jin has a look of pain on his face. That just a blank slate of like Jin will be in the car and be all like da 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 da. Then the moment Jin get out the car, it's like Jin looked like somebody held his ass hostage. I was like, dang, Jin, blink once if you okay. Blink once if you okay. Blink twice if you're not. Like I didn't know he was a hostage situation. Every time Jin does these things, he has a look of anxiety on his face. I've seen this look before. This is the same look that I give when I'm out in a crowd of people. They be like, hey, Kiki. I'm like, hey. It's just, I've seen that look. I see that look all the time. It's a look that I give. Jin is just kind of like, and he was polite and he bowed and he sat and he smiled a little bit and he's like, he waved the army because the army was there. But Jin just has this look of like, this is uncomfortable. This is not what I want to do. I mean, he looked fabulous, gorgeous. And he's just like, just the eyes, but every time I'm like, because I'm new to Army, so I have not seen all of the runways and all of the fashion shoots that you guys have seen. So this is literally like, since Jin been out of the military, this is my second time seeing Jin do a fashion event. And the first fashion event he did, he had the same look. He was like, and you can tell the other fashion event, you can tell that he was very uncomfortable. So Jin ain't got it to do. Jin sat there and he sat next to some rapper guy. And Jin was kind of like trying to joke with him a little bit. He hates it when he's in a big crowd. Okay, yeah, that fight or flight. Yes. Jin was better this year. At least he was talking and laughing, not like last year, which was painful to look at. Yeah, Jin, whenever he do the events, like the last event he did, he was just like, like he looked like he was annoyed the whole time, One of it, okay, Katina said, remember one of his, he had to take time out to get himself together. You can tell that he has anxiety. You can tell that Jin is used to being around the other members of BTS, where he will kind of chime in and say little things here and there, but it's not like when all the attention. I think Jin doesn't like when all the attention is just on him. But you can tell, like, I was laughing. I would try not to laugh, y'all, because I feel bad for him, because I understand that, like, when you have social anxiety and all these pictures and cameras and you're trying to smile and you're trying to be comfortable and be natural, because he understands that the whole world's going to be watching him and everybody's going to be judging him, Korea, armies, haters. So he kind of like is trying to loosen up, but I can see the look on his face is like is social fear. Like, this is not really his thing. I don't think Jin enjoys doing this. But that's okay, Jen, because he looked good. Anyway, he looked good, girl. But Jen, yeah, I just crack up because that shirt knew the assignment. The shirt was shirting. The shirt was like, hold my soju. I know the assignment. Let me just go down. And I was like, Jen up here wearing this shirt. I said, Jen up here pulling a J-Hope? Jen up here pulling a J-Hope, child. I was like, okay. I'm sitting there thinking, I said, Lord, all of my subscribers who love Jen, who are Jen biased, I said, all of them, I could hear y'all breathe a sigh. It's the sigh that I heard around the world. All I heard was, I said, oh, no, I said, all the Jen bias sighed at the same time. Y'all all was like, God, I'm sure. I said, oh, Lord. I said, Jen just got him in the chokehold, baby. Jen don't come up here showing that much skin. You got all of your fans in the chokehold. Because, again, I ain't never seen Jen wear nothing this racy, you know. The guy said, we're best friends now. And Jen said, hi. Yes, and he gave the side eye. Jen is so hilarious. Like, my sister-in-law loves Jen. Because Jen is the king of the side eye. Jen is the king of being sarcastic. I talk about Jen's personality being hilarious. That Jen will sneak diss you real quick and be so charming and good looking about it. You don't even realize what happened. Jen looked good with his chocolate chips out. Girl, his chocolate chips was everywhere, girl. I didn't know whether to get some cookie mix. I didn't know what was happening, but he was Jen, baby. I said, I knew all y'all Jen stands was like, oh, y'all was sweating. Y'all was sweating. Y'all was like, y'all heart was palpitating. I'm telling y'all was over there. Y'all over there drinking y'all holy water. Y'all was over here like this. Jen, wait a minute. Wait. Just, yeah, I know y'all. Y'all was over there getting moist. No, I'm just kidding. This is my book where I write all my notes, by the way. My kids gave this to me. You look at it. It still has the tag on it. But this is a leather-bound book. My kids bought this for me. So this is where I take my notes. You almost passed out. I know you did, Marie. I know you was like, y'all was clutching the pearls, honey, and something else. Y'all was something else over there. So Jen was looking good. So I'm going to mark it off my list. We did RM. We talked about Jen. RM and Kim Tae-young went to a movie premiere. If I didn't mention that, they went to a movie premiere, by the way. And they looked, and that was like, hello, yeah, girl. It's like, what month of the calendar are you in? Y'all know y'all was. Anyway, so RM and V went to an event. Okay, so we got that. Speaking of RM, not speaking of RM, V. I do not, as I said before, you guys don't know, I do not follow them on social media. I don't do social media. I am anti-social media. All I know is that V was online posting a bunch of stuff, I believe, on his Instagram, and he was on Weverse posting a bunch of things, and then he posted a picture of him like at a restaurant doing all kinds of things. Like he just posted a bunch of pictures of him like out in South Korea, like having fun, I guess, like hanging out with friends and stuff. And he did post one picture of him. And I just saw this picture this morning with him with like a mustache. And then people were commenting, some of the armies were commenting like, they was like, no, bro. Like, they was like, no, that's not it. They were like, that's not it, boo. So he posted a picture of him with facial hair, and people were, and then so he apparently deleted that picture because people was talking about, well, shame when you talk about getting moist. Y'all leave me alone. Y'all know I had to bring that up. But so V posted some pictures. Then V posted a video where he was out by the Han River jogging at night. And then I don't know when he took this video. It wasn't a live video, but it was video obviously that he took. It could have been a day before, a week before, I don't know. But like apparently he goes jogging at night sometimes around the Han River. Like him and JK joked about that on Weverse a couple of weeks ago about jogging at the Han River. And so apparently V goes out and jogs by the Han River. Did it hurt his feelings, Shell and P, about them talking about they didn't like his mustache? First of all, Jin can put a pillowcase over his head, and it wouldn't phase me one bit. Jin could show up on a picture or a live stream with a damn pillowcase over his head, and he'd be like, "How do I look, everybody?" And I'd be like, "You know what? It's good, boo. You doing you. It's sexy." Like that's how I would feel when I saw the picture of him with a mustache. Now I didn't think it was that particular good look, but I'm not gonna go online and dog out V like that, y'all. I don't have the heart to do that man like that, you know. And I feel like V be kind of feeling self conscious sometimes anyway, which he shouldn't. V's gorgeous guy, like so. But I think his feelings was kind of hurt that people were like, "Oh, yikes," you know. And I was like, "Y'all leave V alone. Stop bullying V. Y'all stop bullying V." I'm not saying y'all did it, but I'm just watch this video and you were bullying V on Weverse or Instagram or wherever the hell of it. You don't even ashamed of yourself. Stop bullying that man. That man good looking. Let that man, if he want to have pubic hair underneath his nose, y'all let him do it. Okay? If he want to have dots and pubes on his face, you let that man do it. Don't leave him alone. Damn it. Y'all leave that man alone. Y'all couldn't believe they did Taylor. Don't do him like that. Stop it. So he took that picture down. And so then RM, V, and Jungkook was in the gym. And I posted Marie. I posted a video, part of the thirst trap, vlog that they posted of them at the gym, and they were at the gym, and I was, after watching that video, I wanted to go, I gotta get in the gym, damn, like, I need to get back in the gym, like, I wanted to get in the gym. To me, it wasn't really a thirst trap, it was just me seeing physical fitness, and I wanted to get in the gym. Shelling, yo, let him grow that juice catcher, thank you. Shellen P said this is not the first time he showed a photo. Yeah, this isn't the first time. I've seen other photos from like years ago that people have showed. Freudian slip. Anyway, so I was watching them work out and I was like, I want to go work out. Like it wasn't a thirst trap. It was just me like wanting to work out. But yes, it was a video they were pumping out because they've been in the gym for a while now getting ready for their tour and their comeback and everything. And apparently RM and V and Jungkook are in the exercise gang. And then they did a close-up of Jungkook's chesticles and he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, so you can tell Jungkook is getting really back into shape and he's really concentrating on his arms, his biceps, his pectoral muscles. He was really concentrating on that really, really hard. I watched it a few times. I was trying to see his technique because I'm really interested in trying to improve I lift weights, I lift bro. And so I really had to rewind that a few times because I really wanted to get down his technique. So I really watched his technique and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that. I'm like, let me watch it again because I really wanted to be sure what he was doing. You see them veins, baby. I see them veins popping out. I was like, yeah, them arms over. Yes, girl. Yeah. Did I say bicep? Oh, girl. Okay. You know what? So I didn't know. I did ATP. I had to make sure I had to write the technique down. I was like, wait a minute, let me study this. Let me put it on pause. Like, hold on, I was like, okay, unpause. I was like, okay, pause. I was like, okay, unpause. I had to I had to pause and unpause a few times because I really want to make sure I got it down when I go to the gym. And I lift weights. So they posted that video. So we're going to mark this off the list. Get the right technique. Speaking of JK, yeah, just for research purposes. I always do everything, y'all, for research purposes mostly. Like whenever I hear and I talk about these BTS videos, I am a serious journalist and I'm doing this for you guys. I'm not doing it just for me. I'm doing it for you. I'm helping y'all out. Anyway, so JK went live last night. You hate that they ran them off. I hate that they ran them off too. So JK went live last night, and thank goodness while I was trying to go pick up my son for homecoming, it blinged that JK was live, and I was like, when JK he did a live stream a couple of days ago where he wasn't on camera, and he said something that he had a pimple on his nose or something, and he couldn't. And I don't really believe that, but okay, sure. He's like, I got a pimple on my face, and that's why I can't turn the camera on. I'm like, really, JK? Okay, y'all know I don't be believing anything these K-pop artists say. I'm like, I don't believe nothing they say. I don't know why he didn't. He didn't. How was homecoming? It was all right. I mean, it was different than when I used to go as a kid. It's very different now. It's very casual. I live in a small town, so it's very casual. But there were some people dress you up, but most of the time, it's all right. It's not my thing. I didn't go to. I'm gonna tell y'all real quickly. I never went to homecoming or prom or anything like that because I was in a cult. Anyway, so we weren't allowed to go to any kind of school dances because from 13 to 24, I was in a cult. Real talk. I was in a cult. So this is all new for me. My teenage years, for the most of my teenage years, I was in a cult. So a very high control Christian religion. I told you guys about this before. This is during my formative teenage years. So I didn't get to go to dances. I didn't get to go on dates. I didn't start dating until I was like 17. I didn't do what normal people do because I was in a cult. Just a small smile. I was in a cult. Oh, I was like, y'all think I'll be kidding? I was like, no, for real. I was in a cult. So I didn't get the chance to do that though. So I'm living through my children because my daughter goes to a dance I think it's next Friday. She goes to a dance. Next time you hear from Tay, it might be only his voice. Oh my God, I hope not. I hope that don't scare him off, y'all, about people being rude. But JK Chef Jungkook was out there cooking, and I promise y'all, I swear to God, y'all, I'm running out to the store tomorrow and I'm getting the ingredients because I'm gonna attempt to cook that pasta dish. Now I have to tweak a little bit because it had onions and mushrooms in it. I posted shorts and then I posted the whole video on my YouTube channel. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and check that out. That pasta dish he did was very simple, but through the whole thing, I had ate nothing all day, and I'm watching this video and I'm like, I can't even eat pasta, y'all. So I have to tweak my recipe because I don't like mushrooms and I can't eat pasta. I'll probably use spaghetti squash instead, or I might make one for my kids with pasta and one for myself. And I'm going to tweak the recipe a little bit. Like I can't be using truffle butter because truffle butter is really expensive. It's like $30 where I live. And then, so I'm going to tweak a little bit. I can't do mushrooms because no, I don't like mushrooms and neither does my daughter. You're going to try to make it too. And I'm going to try to film it. So homecoming's casual down here. Prom is where they fancy fit. Oh, okay. Hello, Felix, under my bed. Hello. Hello, Bobby. Hello. So yeah, I'm going to try to cook Jungkook's. Now, his other meal, he cooked two different things. So he cooked the pasta dish, which was very simple, but it looked very tasty. Then he made another dish and my jaw dropped. Okay, let me tell y'all something. He made another dish which was kind of like a French toast with eggs on top and jelly. Now look, listen, y'all. I'm finna tell y'all something right now. Ever since I was a little kid, I have eaten eggs with strawberry jam. Like that is my thing. People think it's disgusting when you hear about it, but I promise I'll make a believer out of you. My son thought it was the nastiest thing, and one day he ate strawberry jam with scrambled eggs, and he was like, "Where's this been all my life? Like, why have anybody be doing this all the where are the meals? Where are the homage to the?" I'm telling y'all. Strawberry jam and scrambled eggs is literally the best thing that you've never had. Like it is so good. To see him eat a piece of toast with eggs and strawberry jam on it, I almost died because that's my thing. Then I had the Asians going, well, he really Asian because he had used milk to make the sauce for his pasta. And then like he sat down afterwards and he drank the rest of the milk. And they were like, well, you Asian. I was like every time I hear Koreans say shit like this, I be gagging because I'm like, where I'm from in Michigan, that's like a black person thing. It's like a hood thing. So I was dying when I was like I asked somebody in South Korea, I said, what does this mean? Somebody posted a video, it was like, you know, he really Korean when he drinking the milk afterwards. I said, well, hold on, wait a minute. I said, that's in the black community. I said, we do that all the time. What y'all mean? And then my friend was telling me, well, you know, South Korea, that's the thing. Another thing I tell you that's in South Korea is them opening yogurt. And you know how you pop the yogurt top? It has like a little like foil top. You pop it up and lick it. People are like, oh my God, that's so Korean. I was like, shit, that is not Korean. I was like, y'all need to stop playing. Like, I go all day with Koreans with things that they claim that are so Korean. And I'll be like, that's how I grew up. So I grew up eating strawberry jam on my eggs. That's very Korean. I grew up drinking out the carton when you got a little bit of drop left and you cook and you drink the last. I grew up licking the top off of yogurt. I peel my yogurt and lick the top. I'm like, I thought everybody did this. And they were like, no. And to them, this is a Korean thing. And I was like, this is not a Korean thing. This is things that people do all over the world that they consider that's how you know you're really Korean. But there are certain things culturally, like with food, that Koreans do that I don't really understand. But then other things they describe, and I'm like, are you black? Because I'll be like, I grew up hearing the same shit. I grew up hearing that they were like, because I'm trying to think, there was another thing that my friend was telling me about, and she was like, oh my God, that's so Korean. And I forgot what it was. It was like a temperature of a particular food. I forgot what it was. I forgot what dish it was, but there was this dish out there that Koreans don't eat cold. And I forgot what it was. And they were like, that's how you know you're Korean. Korean don't eat that cold. And I was like, that's how I grew up. We don't eat that cold either. I'm like, they were like, high five. I was like, see, Koreans, we got just, is the universal thing about the yogurt. Thank you. He did post a pic. Okay, so it might have been him. Okay. So yes, waste not, one not right. I was like, I don't think that's really a Korean thing. That's just, I think that's if you grew up working class or poor kind of thing. I was like, I think if you grew up with a certain income, that's what that is. Like all the Koreans I knew grew up very well, not all of them. I knew one of them grew up kind of rich, but all the ones that I knew grew up very working class or or below working class. Like they really struggled. And everybody I know that was poor, like we all our poor people worldwide who grew up poor and we all do the same shit because we were either told by our parents not to waste it, or it was just like, I don't know when I'm gonna get another yogurt, so let me savor this right now by licking the top of it. So I was like, that's just kind of like, you know, you grew up in a poor, you know, you grew up kind of underprivileged. If you do stuff like that, if you drink out the carton because you want to get the last drop, that's a poor person thing. I'm like, I grew up poor. So I was like, that's just what poor people do. It's not really a Korean thing. So I thought that was funny that somebody posted, they're like, well, you know, JK's really Korean. And I'm like, no, baby. JK probably grew up in a working class household. I'm assuming. By the way, he be eating and cooking. But I do have to say one thing about Koreans. Korean men cook. I told Katina that when she put him, I said, Korean men cook. That's one thing I like about Korean. I have not yet, I only know a few Korean dudes that don't cook. Korean men cook, and they cook well. And, you know, they learn to cook early from their mothers, their fathers. They learn how to cook a meal. And Korean people know how to cook a meal out of nothing. Let me tell y'all, all the Koreans can make a meal out of nothing. They can take some onions, some leeks, you know, they can take anything, some eggplant, chop it up, mix it with some chicken or some beef. They'll make a nice sauce. I'm telling you, Koreans know how to make anything out of anything. That's one thing I can say with their food choices. Italians too. I don't know any Italians, Victor. I'm gonna take your word for it, but I heard though. But see, that's resourceful. You know, that's a resourcefulness. And so Koreans will make anything out of anything. They'll just look in their refrigerator and be like, okay, give me that beef. Give me that sauce over there. Give me that sugar. And then they always got to put sugar in something. Like JK was making his pasta and he got to put sugar in it. I said, oh, Koreans, y'all are so hood. Like they put sugar. Like some Koreans love sugar in all their sauces. Like they'll just make something sugar. There was something that Jin was eating on a Weverse that I didn't talk about. I forgot to talk about. Victor said, oh yeah, that I was talking about. And I forgot what he was eating, but it's kind of like, what is it called? Like a fish. God, it's a fish dish, right? I don't like seafood, so that kind of hurts me. But Jen was on a Weverse making this fish dish, and he was stirring it up, and he was mixing it, and he put sugar in it, and it kind of I've had it before. It tastes like a Korean fish coleslaw, and it's very sweet, and it's jarring. Victor said my dad used to make pasta sauce wherever he had in the house. There you go. You had to be resourceful. You had to look in the refrigerator in the cabinet and be like, okay, let me get this olive oil, check. Like JK was just pulling stuff out, but Jen made this dish when he was after his concert in Dallas. He was making, not Dallas, it was the city after Dallas. He was making this, I forgot what his name. It's his favorite dish. And when he was making it, he put a lot of sugar in it. And I was like, Lord, that is so Korean. Like there's certain dishes that you would think that would be savory, but it's like a jarring, they put a lot of sugar in it. And so yeah, I meant to tell you a long time ago, the dish that Jimin was making on Weverse, because some people were asking me, what does it taste like? I've tasted it before. It tastes like it was supposed to be runnier than the way he made it. It's supposed to be kind of like a stew, but it's not really a stew. It's cold. So it's like a cold fish soup. I think that's what he said. I think the translation said, but I forgot the name in Korea. But when you eat it, it tastes like coleslaw. Like it's just like a soupy running coleslaw because they put sugar in it. And I don't like it because I don't like seafood, but that's just me. But I would just have to say that Chef JK was cooking it up, and I'm gonna attempt to cook his pasta recipe. Because I know how to cook. It's just my kids don't. I'm on a diet, so I can't eat pasta. Have a great evening, you too, Victory. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I like to cook. It's just my kids don't really eat certain things. They're really picky eaters, and then I'm on a diet. So I'm a low carb eater. So I can't eat, I don't eat pasta. I hate seafood. And so there's just certain dishes that I don't eat. Hello, Alice. Let us know. I will film it. I'm gonna have my daughter hold the camera while y'all listen to me and my daughter bicker on the camera. She always wants to help me film. So we're gonna film us cooking, and I'm gonna post a video, and we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But it seemed very easy. Like I'm gonna rewatch the video and see what he put in. And again, I have to tweak my recipe a little bit because I can't eat pasta. But I'll make some pasta for my kids. And I'm buying the ingredients. I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow. So Chef JK was on it. Let's see. Jimin, we have not heard from Jimin. I got some gossip about Jimin, y'all. I really do, but I'm not gonna say it on this live stream. I have heard things. I have heard things, but I'm not gonna say it. But Jimin, I told y'all before when I did a whole video. I did a whole video about Jimin, and I told all those Jimin fans, come on, let's sit next to me, because y'all are finna be shot out into the ether. Because we have not heard hide or hair of Jimin ever since the whole scandal, the dating scandal broke out. I guess let me say scandal, because I don't consider it a scandal. She just some crazy jump off that you don't tease us. I'm trying not to tease y'all. I'm gonna put it in my post for my members about what I've heard. What I've heard. It's not nothing too bad, but it's just wait, what? She said, wait, what? Spill it. Y'all want me to spill it? I try to spill it at the end of the live. I try to see if I'm gonna spill it. But I have heard. Okay. All right. Since it's just us girls, allegedly, this is all alleged. What I have heard is a few things. First of all, I am hearing, I am hearing that, oh, how can I put this? Oh Lord, how can I put this? Allegedly, behind the scenes, I am hearing that Song Duan, the girl who accused him of dating, which they did date briefly. And I've said this a long time ago. I said this last year. I was like, y'all, I heard that they hooked up, and everybody was like, no, no. I was like, what? I was like, okay, never mind. But that's what I heard last year. I have heard that behind the scenes that either HYBE or it would come from HYBE has are making some sort of deal with her. That's what I heard behind the scenes, that they're making some sort of deal. I keep hearing, like I've asked people, and that's what they've heard, allegedly. So you can take it with a grain of salt. This is just what I've heard. That HYBE has apparently offered her something, either money or a contract or something, behind the scenes to get her to go away. Which would make sense. Like I said, there's nothing too out of the normal. Also, I heard, so that's one thing. I heard something else too. I heard that there is another person, and I don't know who this person is, but I heard that there's another person trying to drop the dimes on Park Jimin. I've heard it a few times and didn't pay attention to it. And then I have heard in a few sources that somebody else out there is trying to drop the dimes on Jimin. Like somebody out there is saying that they have text messages or Kakao messages or something, and that they are threatening behind the scenes to expose Jimin in some sort of way. And again, I don't think it's anything bad, like he's done anything bad, but I think that somebody else out there is trying to seize upon their opportunity as well. That's what, and again, y'all can take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I've heard, that there is somebody else out there trying to drop the dimes on him too. That I don't know who this person is. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the messages are about. It could just be like flirty messages. It could be that they dated. It could have been something from a while. I hear it's from a while ago. It's not anything recent. But he may have had a flirtation or a dalliance with somebody a while ago. And I hear that this other person is trying to drop the dime on him too. And then that is kind of like has caused issue. Has of course it would cause issues, but that this person is trying to cause problems. That there's another person. And so after hearing that, what I heard last week, I don't know what's going to come of that. But I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I kept telling y'all, I was like, I don't know, y'all. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I think Jimmy going to be gone for a minute. Y'all like, no, no. I'm like, I don't know. If he don't solve these problems, if Hyde don't get ahead of this and solve these problems, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah, they're trying to jump on the train. I told y'all NDAs. I told y'all. You would think he would be more careful. Marie, I heard that he has not. I'm just gonna leave that there. I ain't gonna elaborate on that one. But but he should be able to do whatever he wants to do. As long as it's consenting adults, as long as the people are of age, and they're consenting adults, he should be able to live and do whatever he wants to do. But I've told y'all before, there is a lot of blackmail in the entertainment industry. Period. Whether you're an influencer, whether you're a beauty brand, whether you're a K-pop singer or a K-drama person, there is a lot of blackmail in South Korea. So really, once they smell blood in the water, then it other people may try to capitalize on this as well. So that's what I hear. Again, y'all can take it with a grain of salt. I've heard it from different places that there's just rumors, whispers, that there is somebody else who has either told people that they have messages or pictures or something, or threatened. I don't know if this person is actually taking it all the way to Jimin and HYBE and threatened. They may have not. They may have just told family and friends and certain people, and it's just gotten out that they're going to do this, or they may be thinking about doing this, and maybe they have people trying to talk them out of it. So I don't know how far this has actually gone, but I keep hearing that there's a person out there that has told somebody that knows something about it, that they either plan to do this, want to do this, or need some hush money to keep it quiet. Because again, it's like blood in the water. Once, and I hear with Song Duan think that they're going to either pay her or give her an acting contract or something to shut her the hell up, which I don't blame them. I would pay whatever she wanted to shut her the hell up. Have her sign an NDA, throw some money at her, she'll sign an NDA, she'll never talk about Jimin ever again. So I would be surprised if this person, if Song Duan, I promise you, most definitely you will never hear from her again. Like, you will never hear from her again. Like, this is over with. That they've done what they had to do, and be like, bitch, shut up. Like, go on somewhere. Like, you probably, I would say 90%, you're never going to hear from her again, say anything about Jim. That they have threatened her enough with a cease and desist. They've threatened her legally. They will bring her in, have her sign an NDA. They'll cut a deal with her. And that's what I heard, that behind the scenes, they've cut a deal with her. And so you'll never hear from her again. And so she kind of got what she wanted, really, because she didn't really want Jimin. She wanted attention. She wanted money. She probably wanted an acting deal or a contract with an agency or something. And HYBE, of course, would be able to make that happen. So allegedly, again, this is all allegedly what's happened behind it. So again, I wouldn't bet on handling them hearing from her again, because before they just ignored it and they just sent her a cease and desist and kind of ignored it and was like, we'll just let it blow over. But now it's a bit more serious with them having a comeback, and HYBE is in trouble legally, and the thing with Suga and all this other stuff. So now they treating this like, okay, this is a bit more serious. We can't have you out here saying this stuff. We just can't. So what do you want? We're gonna cut you a deal. What do you want? And this happens in the industry, even in America. It happens. Like, people silence ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, ex-husbands all the time. So it's not anything scandalous. And Jimin didn't do anything wrong. It's just the nature of how the business is. They can't hold water right. Yeah, blood in the water, especially with BTS coming out with another album and a tour. This is definitely blood in the water situation. This is a SOS, save us, blood in the water situation. Hello to all the Stray Kids haters. To all the Stray Kids haters. Take it. Suck it, haters. But yeah, this is kind of like a situation where they can't have anything ruin this comeback. They can't have anything ruin this comeback. This ain't a situation where he's in the military and they'll just wait it out, or he's about to go into the military like it was before when she was saying stuff. I think Jimin was about to go to the military, or he was already in the military, so they didn't really care. They were like, we going in the military anyway, we don't care. No, this is a situation where, like, okay, we need this album and this shit to go smoothly. We don't need no kind of hiccups. HYBE got enough heat on them. They don't, it's a big mess. It is a mess that they can't come out at their age that they're dating. Right. Not now, especially not with them having an album come out, Shelling P. This is not the time for any new relationships, any new friends. This is not the time. They like, wait till the tour ends, then y'all can have scandals. But as it stands right now, they need everything to go smoothly for this album and this tour. They don't need no scandals to be dropping stock, messing up the bag, ruining promotions. This shit with Jimin has already ruined things, allegedly. Has already ruined things. And I'm sure, I can just imagine that Jimin is not happy with what this has done. They're already behind the scenes. HYBE has already been behind the scenes, allegedly, rearranging Jimin. Jimin was supposed to do I heard that Jimin was supposed to do a promo, that he was supposed to have some sort of brand deal come out and announce to the public recently, and they had to put the kibosh on that. That's what I heard, allegedly. Allegedly. So they either have to reschedule it and move it up, or do a deal with another company or something. But I heard behind the scenes, HYBE had to scramble. And certain things have to be rearranged or rescheduled until they feel like it can kind of like blow over. So you may see Jimin in pictures, in videos with other members. He may post a picture of him, or something that he's doing. And that's really it. But Jimin is supposed to be out here doing promotions, y'all. Don't ever think that Jimin is not supposed to be out here doing promotions. This is not the plan. Like, Jin is doing promotions, RM is doing promotions, JK is doing promotions, J-Hope is supposed to be resting, Jimin is supposed to, V is out here doing promotions and doing his thing, Jimin is supposed to be doing promotions. J-Hope is supposed to be doing his thing and resting and getting the choreography together and recording and writing. J-Hope is resting, he's doing his thing too. J-Hope has done the LV, Louis Vuitton. They are all supposed to be doing shit except for Suga. So they're all supposed to be doing things. And so this is kind of messed up Jimin's schedule, kind of effing up the bag a little bit. So I feel bad. Again, when stuff like this happen, I tell y'all, don't ever think that this doesn't affect the artist on a mental health level, and it doesn't affect them monetarily and what they're doing. Everything is planned out, what BTS is doing far, far in advance. And so for something like this to happen, and then they have to, the marketing teams have to scramble and try to fix things and try to be like, well, you need to lay low a little bit. And Jimin got his hair dyed blonde. I'm like, y'all, why do y'all think Jimin hair blonde? All this was planned out and scheduled. His hair was supposed to be dyed blonde, and Jimin was supposed to be out there doing promotions, y'all, with his beautiful blonde hair. So they still keep him on schedule with, he's working out and doing things, and his hair got dyed blonde. But Jimin, that's when the hair starts to be dyed, that's how you know they're doing promotions. By the way, if y'all didn't know, when people's hair gets cut and their hair gets dyed, That's how you know that they're doing photo shoots and promotions behind the scenes, and they're supposed to be out doing things in front of the public. So when I saw Jimin with that blonde hair, I said, oh hell, he's supposed to be doing stuff. And he's still doing other things, still working on the album. They're still, shooting photo cards and stuff like that. But Jimin is supposed to be one of the, like, just like everybody else out there doing things. And so this, yes, has affected things. Again, allegedly, from what I have heard, allegedly. So I feel bad for Jimin because he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do this. And like I said, for this actress to choose to do this when he came out the military, it's almost as if it's a setup. But then again, y'all, I don't try to divulge into conspiracy thinking, but every once in a while, things in K-pop happen, and I'm like, that's odd. It's very odd to me that she waited till he got out the military and all this stuff. And before the promotion is supposed to start, like really, truly, I heard she dropped this bombshell right before his promotions were about to start. And I don't know. I don't know if this is a setup. I don't know if this is a shakedown. I don't know what this is. All I can tell you what I heard, but I heard that the timing to me is very curious. And so this person, y'all know how I feel about Song Doo-won. I do not like her. I do not like what she did. I think it was low. I think it was dirty. I think it was hurtful. I think it was very hurtful. Like, I don't know why. Yeah, people need to grow up. I do. I feel so sad for him. ATP 186 said, no, it was a setup, because why now? Right. Why would you wait till he get out of the military? And like I said, from what I hear, right as he's about to do promotions, that they do this. Like, why would you, like, that's just odd. This is getting into the fall, which is fashion show season and all this stuff. It's like she planned to do this to sabotage him on purpose. Hello, full-time stay. And so I just, it's just sad, like that anybody would do Jimin like this. And Jimin, for all intents and purposes, I've never heard anything bad about him, like dating someone and being a mean person or being really arrogant. From what I heard, Jimin seems like a very sweet, nice guy. From everything that I've heard, because I've asked people, so have you met Jimin? They're like, oh, he's such a sweetheart. Like, so I've never heard anything professionally bad about him. Jimin's always on time, always professional. He's a perfectionist. He gives it all. So I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Jimin, like his character or anything like that. I don't know. I have heard some other things about Park Jimin that I find funny, and I don't think it's bad, but I don't know if it rings true anymore, but I did hear back in the day that he was kind of like a ladies' man back in the day. That back in the day that he liked to hang out and liked to party. And you can kind of see that reflected in some of the songs that he did on his first solo album. I heard that Jimin liked to be at the club. Like Jimin liked to turn up. That's what I've heard. That Jimin liked to drink, Jimin liked to turn, and nothing bad, like he's not hurting anybody. But I heard that Jimin is much more of a sociable kind of person. That he is not one to sit at home and sulk and be sitting at home playing video games. I heard that Park Jimin is very much a very social butterfly type, and that he likes to be out and likes to be around people, and that he hates being by himself by home. That Jimin likes to be out having fun, and he's a young guy and he should like to be out having, especially a long time ago. Like I said, I heard this around people who ran across him saying these things, that they knew him back in like 2017, 2018. So when he was a bit younger. So things may have changed, it's been like 6-7 years later. But yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's a young, good looking guy. He's rich. Hello, full-time stay. Jimin looks like he's about that life behind the doors, so to speak. Stray Kids for life. I love all the stays that come. I said, come on, stays, let's go. But yeah, Jimin seems like he was the type that I heard that liked to go out and have fun. And again, nothing wrong with going out and having fun. As long as you're safe and everybody's consenting adults. There's nothing going wrong with going out and having a drink. There's nothing going around and getting the attention of the ladies. There's nothing wrong with, just living your best life and being a young guy, a young, rich, good-looking guy who's flirty, who may be a bit flirty, who may be hanging out in Paris, hanging out with people in Paris. At a hotel. Anyway, so allegedly. Look, I didn't even know Jimin was even in Europe somewhere in like 2018, and somebody told me this story, and I'm like, so do y'all know? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Because I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying. Somebody told me, someone said, get online. Okay, I have a whole list of things that somebody is telling me, get online and ask your subscribers this. Every week I come on and I ask y'all questions because I don't know. Hello, Deidre. So I'm asking y'all, was Jimin in Paris or something on vacation in 2019 or 20? Do y'all know what this person is talking about? Do y'all know? Hello, Zara. Do y'all know? Were they on vacation in 2019? It was before I think it was before the pandemic. 2018, 2019. Was Jimin on vacation in Paris? Somewhere, I don't know, y'all. I'm asking y'all because somebody was like, ask your subscribers. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask because I don't know. Again, I'm new to this, so I've been told to ask you guys, is there something about them going on vacation? Like the members went on vacation. You'd have to look. Yeah, somebody said he was traveling. Yes, he was traveling in Europe, and somebody told me that it was around 2018. 2019 that he was traveling. Yes, he was. Marie said yes, he was. So that's all. I don't know. Again, I just, somebody told me this and I was like, you lying. And I was like, they're like, ask your subscribers about it. I said, you thought it was JK? I heard that a bunch of them went on vacation in different places. And I heard that Jimin was either in Paris or someplace in France or someplace in Europe drinking. And I heard that's all there's other things that I've heard, but somebody told me, somebody was like, no, this is real. I was like, really? And he was apparently having a really, really, really good time. I was like, okay. And they were like, it's not a secret. I said, you gonna get me in trouble. So apparently someone told me, allegedly, ask about Jim and about them being on vacation in Europe. And I was like, was it on and popping in Europe? They was like, it was on and popping in Europe. So I don't know. And apparently there's pictures out there, but I don't know. Was it 2019? Or was he with two other members? It's apparently yes, may have been, Katina said 2029, girl, he in the future. But you talk about 2019, it was somewhere around in 2018, 2019. I heard that BTS went on vacation and they were in Europe. And there is apparently, allegedly, there is some stories or pictures of Jimin somewhere out there. And I have not researched. I have not time to research. But apparently he was out drinking with some locals at a bar. Oh, he was, because he came back to South Korea for JK's birthday. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Somebody told me that he was out partying in Europe and there's pictures of him with some women at a bar somewhere in Europe. And I was like, stop lying. I'll tell my friend, stop lying. That's why last week I came on here and I asked y'all. I said, did BTS have like an after party that was filmed and that it was on the internet? And you guys were like, yeah. I was like, because my friend is like, well, not, he's not my friend, but he was like, this dude was like, well, I was in that video. I said, stop lying. I said, there ain't no video. I said, let me ask my subscribers, because I couldn't find it. But y'all said it was true. Y'all was like, yeah, they were on tour and there was a video. I'm like, I was like, so I had to go back and tell him. I said, I apologize. And he was like, yeah, go ask your subscribers about Jimin in Europe or something in 2018, 2019. I was like, okay, I'll ask. But apparently there's pictures out there somewhere, but I couldn't find them though. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really look. I've been so busy. Oh, is that where the video? So he was 19. Okay. So it was 2019. Tina said 2019 he was in Paris and the video of him clubbing came out. Okay. So somebody told me the truth. Someone was like, I'll tell y'all, Jimmy liked to party, y'all. There's nothing wrong with that. Go do your thing. Nothing wrong with that. Well, all the from when Jimin says he's shy. I heard that Jimin is kind of shy. Like, he's very flirty in a shy kind of way. But I don't know about when he gets to drinking, though. Like, he may be a little bit more open. And it just depends on the situation a lot of times. He was in a bar and was sitting at a table and this girl was speaking Korean. She pulled out a phone and tried to record him. Ah, okay. Yeah, I read he was at the pub and someone leaked the video and speculations were made. I don't know much more than that though. Thank you, Zara. Yes, I heard, and like I said, he wasn't doing anything bad. I just from that, somebody was telling me some juicy tidbits, and I was like, what? What? I was like, this can't be right. He was like, no, and then the pics came out. Ah, okay. Hello, Felix Underbid. Say hi again. Hello. Ah, okay. I'm gonna do some research, y'all, because again, people be telling me things, and I'll be like, stop lying, and they be like, no, really. I was like, okay, and I had a chance to look it up, so I will pin that and look that up. The biggest thing I want to talk about BTS updates is Suga. Another stay. Hey, all stays. Stays, I love you. I love all my stays. I love all my stay friends. Again, Stray Kids is the best concert I've been to so far this year. It's the best concert I've been to. It's in my top 3 of concert. It was better than ATs. I have to say that. Now I love ATs, but Stray Kids, even though Stray Kids, I'm not a Stray Kids fan, it's the best concert. Stray Kids put on a hell of a concert, y'all. I mean, a hell of a concert. Like my jaw dropped. There was lasers. I tell y'all, it was lasers. There was smoke. There was like things moving. Out there was dancing. There was lots of dancing. There was a live band. There was a bunch of dancers, and I was like, yeah. Again, if you look at my YouTube channel, subscribe, you will see I did a video about Stray Kids and their history, and I also did a concert vlog when I went to their concert, and I did a bunch of shorts. And I absolutely think Stray Kids are very, very professional, and they're one hell of a performers. They are so good on stage. Like, I cannot believe they didn't have much of. I'm gonna get back to Suga, but they did not have much of a vocal track behind them. These fools, these mofos, is really up here singing. Like, they were really, really singing and dancing and moving and swaying. And it was not that much lip syncing and all that other stuff that y'all hear about. They really was up there singing. So you could tell that they have a lot of range and they were very professional. Very, very, very professional. And yeah, I went. Yeah, I went to the concert in June. And it was amazing. It was the setup was amazing. The screens were amazing. The stage was amazing. Everything about the Stray Kids concert was amazing. I always talk very, very, very glowing about them. So there you go. So anyway, we're gonna talk about Suga. My bias and my Opa. So after two years of not posting on Instagram, Suga Min Yoongi from BTS posted after being gone for so long. He posted pictures. He posted a series of pictures of him. Like, it looks like a photo shoot. I don't know if it's a music video clip. I don't know if it's a photo shoot, but he had a guitar, and it looks like it was like this, like he's in his garage, like at night with these spotlights and this stuff behind him. So it looked like either a photo shoot or a music video. I don't know which one. Maybe they're doing stuff for photo cards. I hear that they're doing photography for photo cards and promotions and stuff like that. And so Suga was up there with his guitar, wearing all his black. And if you notice Suga hair, he had the undercut. God is good. Is God not good all day? God is good all day. I'm not even a believer, but I have to say God is good all day because he had the undercut. I love the Suga undercut. He was looking good. Yeah, he got a fresh cut, Sonia. He was looking good. And he looked good, even though the pictures were far away and they're blurry. I tried to zoom in and zoom out, zoom in and zoom out. You know, your girl was zooming in, zooming out. My fingers was hurting. My fingers started cramping up. My fingers was like this. I was like, God, because I was zooming in and zooming out because I was trying to see what kind of hair, and he was looking good. And so Suga was looking good. So that's all we've heard from Min Yoongi. Also, Yoongi, his Min Yoongi Mind Center in the hospital is supposed to open up. Is it supposed to be this week? Y'all tell me, because there was speculation that whether it's gonna have its grand opening. They were speculating whether Suga was going to show up or not, but I don't know if Suga's in LA or he's back here. I'm not really quite sure. You know, Suga's very she made me want to be an army. Oh my God, that's such a compliment. I thought I was dreaming. I was swooning and dreaming and sweating and I was sweating and dreaming over here. But yeah, I had to zoom in and zoom out, zoom in. I'm trying to see what he looked like. I was like, but I was okay to have any pictures, even though I'm not on IG. The only reason I knew about it is because somebody I subscribed to, they posted it in a YouTube short, and I posted it in a YouTube short. So yeah, I thought I was dreaming. I was very happy to see him. And like I said, his hospital center or whatever, I don't know when that opened. The opening is Tuesday. It's on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Monday night, because it's a 12-hour delay. Monday night, I'm gonna be up reading Korean news, trying to see if in the moment I see something, I'm gonna post a short. If I see that he's gonna be there, he should be there because this is his project, this is his legacy. So I would be really disappointed if he's not there. But then again, like I said, I don't know if he's in South Korea or if he's in LA, but he can always come back. So Tuesday we should see Min Yoongi, hopefully, fingers crossed, opening up the center. He should be there. And so if he is there, he's going to take pictures. Again, I online somebody actually received an invitation, and they were reading, like I saw a video where they were reading the invite information. Somebody received an invitation to go. I don't know who this person is, but and they showed the pictures and video of the invite. And so it kind of seems like it's going to be a private event, which is explainable, which is understandable because this is not a fashion show. This is not a movie premiere. This is not like the Billboard Music Awards or the Grammys. So I don't think, it's not like he's walking the red carpet or it's a movie premiere. This is a sobering event. This is an event for his legacy. So this is not like something where it's like a gala or something. So it's going to be something serious, but I would expect that he was going to be there. I hope he goes. He should be there. Yes, he should be there. Probably he'll be seen. Yeah, he might be behind the scenes though, because again, the way it read this person's invitation was kind of telling people that it's invitation only, telling people, it's limited photography. So that's how I read it. Like this is much more of a serious private thing. They're going to be parents are going to be there with their children who are part of this program. So they don't want their private in Korea, they're very privacy conscious. So they were telling people that, people's kids are going to be there, doctors are going to be there. So it's not just about Suga. These are real people and their kids who are going to be there and they want privacy. And then the doctors and the staff, they're going to be there. They want their privacy. So no, damn it. This is not like the Billboard Music Awards, so don't expect like, a lot of pictures, maybe just, maybe a few tasteful pictures. But from what I know, this is going to be definitely not, this is going to be a private event. And it should be. Oh yeah, donate Jimin. I forgot Jimin. Speaking of Park Jimin, he did donate to kids for scholarships and books. They said that I read that Jimin has donated before. So yeah, I'm Zara says she listened to BTS, but she's a Jimin and a J-Hope bias. Okay, well that's good. Welcome. Yeah, it's gonna be a big moment for Suga, and I see that Jimin is donated to education, and it's always good to see them donating to scholarships or education. I think RM, I don't know if I brought that up last week. He had donated a lot of his money as well. So it was just good. It was just good to see them. So lots of BTS updates this week, y'all. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. They're doing a lot. Your girl is tired. I always have to stop and post videos and stop and do things. And there's the time delay. They're 12 hours ahead of me, and so I'll be late at night to sleep, and then all of a sudden my phone will be like bling and Weverse, and I'm like, oh, what? It's be 5 o'clock in the morning. Somebody's posting something. So yeah, I try to keep up, but I know that it's very long winded. We've been talking about BTS, but they had a lot of updates. So that's that. So now, they also do donate privately. Yeah. Oh, Jimin's father a teacher? I know J-Hope's father was a teacher. Also, J-Hope's brother, they run a cafe. I tell y'all, did y'all know that, speaking of Suga, did y'all know Suga had a cafe in Jeju? Did y'all know that? I knew that. I knew that for a long time, but I mentioned it to somebody the other day and they were like, what? I was like, did y'all know that, Suga? Yes, there's a art museum on Jeju that is a cafe that Suga and his brother actually own that cafe. There's a nice cafe. And when I go back to South Korea, I want to go there. I want to go back to South Korea very bad, very soon. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking about going for the holidays, but I don't know, it's cold there, and I live in Texas, so you did not know that? Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. They do. On Jeju Island, there is this really high art, fancy art gallery, and right next to it, if you go down and turn the corner, there's a cafe. And Suga's brother, Jay, that's his name, Jay, him and his brother own that cafe. So that's just a little something that a lot of people don't know. They released Tay's behind the scenes for his Coca-Cola commercials on YouTube. I did not know that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Thank you, Katina. I did not know that. Y'all tell me something. No, don't go during the winter. I know. I'm from Michigan though, but still, I don't like the winter. I may wait and go until spring. But then spring, BTS new album come out, and I'm like, I don't know if they're going on tour. See, y'all, we'll see how I go. Cause I want to go soon, but then I don't want to go during the dead of winter. But then spring, I'm like, well, what if they start touring then? I gotta be ready. And so I don't know. We will see. I might wait until summer. It would be really nice if I could go to Festa next year. So we'll see. I might want to go to Festa. Yeah, I would want to go to Festa. Because Festa's going to be on and popping next year, y'all. All BTS is going to be together. And it's going to be Festa. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy. And so Cat's Eye met and took pictures with J-Hope and the members. Manyeon saw Suga in the elevator and thought it was, yeah, I saw that. She said, hi, hello, but then she realized it wasn't J-Hope. And he just kind of looked at her and he was like, hi, like, okay. Yeah, I saw that video that she was saying that she didn't say it was Suga, but people suspected it was Suga. But she said that she thought it was J-Hope. And she said, oh, hi, like, and then she realized, oh, that's not J-Hope. And he kind of looked at her and was like, hi, like, do I know you? You know, I thought that was hilarious. Plus, there's a short up which said, is Jimin's brother, and if it's like they are twins. I've seen Jimin's brother. I don't think Jimin's brother looks like Jimin at not a lot. They do I think Jimin's brother looks more like his dad, but Jimin looks like his dad too. But I've seen Jimin's brother, and he wasn't that cute to me. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it buck. Like, I wasn't that impressed. I was like, that's his brother? I'm like, but they do look alike though. Like, I can see it. Like, they do look alike, but it's just kind of like Jimin is like a more prettier version than his brother. She said it could be it was really him. They look alike. Like, it was because, Jimin's dad has a cafe, and the brother sometimes goes and works at the cafe too. Like, and then he was doing something at the cafe this weekend. I forgot what it was, but I've seen Jimin's brother before, but I was like, he just looks like a non-prettier version of Jimin. Like how Jimin was if he was Jimin was just a normal person. Like, if Jimin wasn't that cute, if Jimin was just a normal dude, him and his brother they do look alike. So, but I was like, I still let him hit though because he's Jimin's brother. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. This is why I come and do a live stream. Y'all get the. Anyway, so I apologize, but that's just the truth. Don't they start their tour in South Korea? The tickets will be cheaper. Yeah, they should start it in South Korea, but I just don't know when it's going to be. Like, if it's during the summer, that kind of puts me in a conundrum because it's harder to get tickets in South Korea. Y'all said I'm a mess. I'm just keeping it real. I was like, well, you can still get it though, Jimin's brother. Call me. You can still get it. Like, I don't discriminate. Can still get it. All of the relatives of BTS can get it. I don't even like girls. I've never been with a woman. I'm not gay. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not a woman. But I mean, if J-Hope's sister knocks on my door, I'm like, well, come on, Jisoo. Come on, girl. Let's go. I know you married, girl. Bring your husband too. It's fine. Anyway, he can film and watch. Anyway, so let's get on to the HYBE news. Let's get on to the HYBE news. I'll just keep it real. Like, just keep it real. I was like, well, I guess this is what we doing. Let's go, girl. I don't know what I'm doing really, but I'll figure it out. I'll Google some shit. Give me a YouTube video. I'll figure it out. I would like Google. I'm like, lesbian. Okay, lesbian. How does this work again, girl? Oh, we gonna figure it out. Like, I'll figure it out. Shit. I will figure it out. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out together, girl. This your first time doing something like this? Oh, okay. Well, girl, teach me then, girl, because I don't know. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Figure it out. I'm like, I'm not gay, but I'll be gay today. So I'm like, well, guess I'm gay today. Tomorrow I'm back straight. Shit. I mean, it's an opportunity. You love my mind. They're going to keep you out of South Korea. They be like, you got to leave. You get the hell up out of here. They be trying to keep me out of South. They're like, man, don't come back here no more. You try for more news. Jackson Wang will be performing at the I Heart Jingle Ball Christmas concert in LA in December. Tickets go on sale. Oh my God, Jackson Wang. I gotta look it up. I think in December, speaking of concerts, I think we're supposed to be going to see Card in December. Me and my sister-in-law. So we're gonna go see Card. And I'm excited because I love Card. But anyway, so on to HYBE news. I got my book. So HYBE, what happened in HYBE and ADOR news? Bang PD was questioned again. And y'all check out my video about Bang PD. I did a overview about Bang PD. I did a lot of research on this video. I tried to condense it and make it as concise as popular as possible, and then try to put my comments on there. But yes, I did a video about BTS, HYBE, Big Hit, and Bang PD, and just a overview about how everything was formed, and pictures of Bang PD that I've never seen before. I had to go dig on the internet, pictures of him when he was young, and Bang PD when he was younger, he could get it. Like, he was pretty cute when he was in his 20s. When he was in college, Bang PD can get it. Like, he's a good looking guy. Like, he was a pretty nice looking guy. It's a stark contrast to what he looks like now. But Bang PD was a really, really good composer and writer, musically very talented. Like, I didn't realize how talented Bang PD was. But if you check out my video, I just scratched the surface a little bit. I try not to get too detailed in my videos. But when I went online and learned about him and and there's not a lot. Like, I really had to dig hard to find out anything about when Bang PD was younger. It was very odd. So I don't know if he's had stuff scrubbed from the internet. Y'all, that does happen. So I don't know if he's had stuff scrubbed from the internet, but there's not a lot about Bang PD before he was in high school. Like, there's just not a lot. So like I said, I just find it very strange that there's not a lot about how he grew up or anything like that. It's very odd. He lost a lot of weight, maybe because of Ozempic. I don't know. Maybe it's not, Marie, it's not working. Just to get close to Suga Deidre, I will take one for the team. I was like, well, I was like, well, okay, I guess we're taking one for the team. Come on, Dad. Like, just to get close to Suga, anything's possible. I don't know how he lost the weight, but when I see him doing his press conference, I'm like, I don't know if it's not working. I don't know if maybe he needs to do an extra dosage. I'm not trying to throw shade. Look, listen. I am not trying to throw shade to Bang PD, but I'm like, when the pictures I saw of him when J-Hope was on tour, he had lost a lot of weight. And now it looks like he had possibly gained some of the weight back. And Bang PD has always had this up and down yo-yo effect with his weight, which can be very unhealthy and taxing on the system. But Bang PD is under a lot of pressure right now. Again, the police questioned him again. Last week, we talked about police questioning him for almost 14 hours. They didn't question him that much this time. But if I was Bang PD and I was under all the scrutiny and the stress, I would be eating Twinkies and Ho-Hos and shoving candy in my face in a corner crying. That's how I would deal with it. I don't know. No, I would probably be starving myself, because when I'm not a stress eater, I'm a stress like not eater. When I'm under a lot of stress, I don't eat. So I'd be like a skeleton. So, I figure that he's under so much stress that I don't blame him if he wants to shove down a whole box of Choco Pies. I'm not mad at Bang PD for gaining weight. So he just needs to take an extra dosage of Ozempic, go get him a full body massage from a nice young lady, and just relax. Have a bottle of wine and just relax, Bang PD. But he is going through it. He's under a lot of pressure. Also this week with Minhee Jin and ADOR. Minhee Jin, there's so many lawsuits, I can barely keep up. But there's a lawsuit against Minhee Jin and ADOR from an employee who claimed that she was harassed by an executive. Y'all remember that? And so Minhee Jin's lawyers have suspended the court case again. So they've delayed it again to another date. So it's been delayed like 3 or 4 times. And so there's so many lawsuits, so little time, but the drama just continues with HYBE and New Jeans. And then I can't wait to October when we finally get these court cases on the road, and hopefully they won't be suspended again. Cause I'm tired of I'm tired of ADOR, I'm tired of Minhee Jin. Y'all know I'm fed up with all this shit. I am so fed up with this. I just like I don't even know what to say. Like I don't it's just stupid, it's just dumb. And so I'm just tired. I'm tired. HYBE also is coming out with a gaming system or platform called Drimmage. Again, I just feel sometimes that HYBE is doing too much. Do you see the article about the Korean? Yes, we're gonna get to that in a minute. I just think that HYBE is doing too much with this. Maybe they spent like $100 million on some gaming platform. I'm not in the gaming space, so I didn't really get too much off into it. But okay, HYBE also sold their stock in YG. They own a part of YG's division. They actually sold that this week. So HYBE sold part of they sold their shares in YG. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. I asked and people didn't really know. Um, what else? HYBE's Latin American group is about to debut or has debuted. I saw a video. You can go online and look at the HYBE, and they have a Latin American group. I guess they're trying to be the Latin American version of BTS. So we'll see if that works out. Also, yes, there was an article about the Korean government should bail out New Jeans, which is insane. Bail out New Jeans for what? What the hell for? They're a K-pop group. They can get it just like everybody else. Like I don't, child. You know what? Talking about need to bail them out. I'm like, for what, girl? I just, oh God. You know, YG is a sinking ship. ATP 86 threw some shade at YG. She talking about YG is a sinking ship up in this bitch. I don't understand why we're going through this just insanity. Like I don't like New Jeans don't deserve to be bailed out. I mean, nobody got time for that, for real. Bailed out for like they did something. They were literally in the business for like 18 months. I have to remind people. 18 months. We ain't talking about TVXQ. We ain't talking about VIX. We ain't talking about Big Bang. If people petitioning, look, hold on, just a minute. Hold on, wait just a damn minute. If people petitioning the government talking about they need to bail out New Jeans, I need TOP to come back then. I need y'all to grant TOP a full MF pardon and have him perform at Coachella next year. That's what I need the Korean government. Now, if the Korean government want to do that, then they can go ahead and pardon New Jeans or whatever the hell they got to do. But I ain't thinking about nobody else when hold on, just hold the F a minute. I'm not doing anything about the Korean government pardoning New Jeans when TOP is still not fully in Big Bang, when Suga is in hiding and Jimin's in hiding. Let's start there first. Let's go there. Because I promise you that Big Bang and BTS has done more for the industry and the Korean government. What the hell have New Jeans done? They don't deserve no reprieve from whatever they did. For what? They're a girl group that was around 18 months. Y'all playing with me today. They're under a contract negotiation. They're having contractual issues. Just like any other group. There's been groups before them, and there will be groups now and groups after them that have had contract disputes with their labels. They're not the first group to have a contract dispute with their label. There's nothing unprecedented or weird about this. I just get annoyed because I'm like, people don't know the history of K-pop. I'm like, there's other groups that have had contract disputes. We're going to talk about it in a minute. I'm going to tell you about a group right now that's going through a contract dispute. And if anybody deserves a reprieve, it would be them. Not no damn New Jeans. But I digress. Right. Bring back TOP. Can I get a full pardon to TOP? I don't want to hear not a damn thing about New Jeans until TOP is pardoned and restored back to Big Bang. I don't want to hear another MFing thing about no damn New Jeans who been in the business 18 months when Big Bang was literally in the business like 15 years. Please, y'all playing with me today. I like child. That just, I'm like, no, go away. Also, K-pop, also HYBE has a K-pop movie coming out. Now, child, now look, now I know K-pop Demon Hunter was really, really big, y'all. I know y'all was some of y'all was all up on the K-pop Demon Hunters. Y'all was like, yeah. Y'all was singing the song, we're going up, up, up. Y'all was going up, up. Y'all was, you're my soda pop. Da-da-da. Yeah, I know that. But now the K industry is like, yes, TVXQ, I said it. Let them come back. They can't even come back to Korea. Y'all playing with me. So I understand that K-pop Demon Hunter, I did a video. I did a review of K-pop Demon Hunter. I also talked about the industry. I did a video talking about how K-pop Demon Hunter has the industry shook. Now, in HYBE's fairness, they've been developing this movie since 2020. So this is not something recent. They've been developing this movie, has kind of went through kind of development hell because they've had several writers, several directors, but it's come together. They actually have a cast out there. You can go look it up. But HYBE in connection with Paramount has been working on a K-pop movie for 2020. It's about this Korean American girl that finds out that there's some kind of K-pop survival show that she wants to be on, and she decides to go and chase her dreams. And they have real Korean actors. They're going to film in Korea. Eric Nam, some of y'all know who Eric Nam is. I like Eric Nam. He's from America, but he wasn't a K-pop singer. He was also a host, a variety show host. And they have a bunch of other well-known Korean people and some newcomers. So I don't know how I feel about this because, I mean, if it's done right, like if it's like a Netflix movie, I'll watch it if it's done right. But then again, I don't know. You love Eric Nam? I love Eric Nam. I like him. So I don't know how I feel about this. And so I don't know. But HYBE is helping produce it. So I mean I'll watch it. But I just I just feel like people are really trying to capitalize on the K-pop Demon Hunter kind of thing. And then also I hear that Warner Brothers or one other studio is trying to make a K-pop movie, kind of like a pitch perfect version of a K-pop movie. That's how it's being advertised as. Is the same people who did Pitch Perfect are trying to do a Pitch Perfect movie, kind of movie. This is live action, by the way. Both of these movies are live action, so they're not animated. There's no supernatural themes in any of these movies. So the HYBE movie is live action, and then the other movie that they're trying to do, a Korean Pitch Perfect, is going to be a live action movie, not animated. So I don't know how I feel about this. We're gonna, I tell y'all, like I said in my K-pop Demon Hunter video, we're gonna see more of this. Korea is going to try to match or copy K-pop Demon Hunters, but it's just, I don't think it's gonna, I don't know how successful it's going to be. I have to hear what songs they're gonna use because both of these movies are gonna have music in it, covers and original music. And I just have to hear the music. If the music is good, it's good. If the acting is good. The plot to me sounds corny. I don't want a Korean K-pop version of Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect is not a movie I was into. I've seen both of them, and they're cute and they're quaint, but I don't know how a Korean Pitch Perfect is going to go over well with K-pop audiences, and then they have to bring in regular audiences as well. I don't know if they're going to sterilize it and make it too westernized, and I don't like that either. At least the HYBE movie, the HYBE Paramount movie, at least they're filming it in Korea with Korean actors and Korean producers and stuff and Korean directors but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Again, if it's something that's really corny, I don't know. But I'll give it a chance. Like I knew it was just a matter of time where they're gonna start making like K-pop, movies or whatever. Again, I write fan fiction. If you follow me on Wattpad or know me from Wattpad, I think my fan fiction is probably, if I see this movie and I'll be like, oh, this is lame. But for somebody who does K-pop fan fiction, I'm much more of a harsh critic than I guess regular people, because I feel like if I can think up of a scenario that's better than this, then I feel like they should. Like if I can come up with a bunch of drama in realistic situations, then I feel like, well, what's the excuse? Because I feel like if I could come up with ideas and things, I just feel like, okay, so what are y'all doing? If they come up with something that's so corny and lame, and again, a lot of times with these movies, these people who write this and direct and produce this shit are not K-pop fans. So that's the other issue. You have non-K-pop fans or people who are not familiar with the business writing about K-pop. That's where things get all kind of messed up. And that's where it starts to be corny. Because when you take people who don't know anything about the business or people have to tell them because they don't know, then it's just it becomes inauthentic. Yes, I like Stray Kids. Thank you very Bangtan San. Not a remake of a movie that came out 10 years ago. That's barely 10 years. Oh Lord. Yeah, they need to do the opposite and not try to make it. I mean, both of these live action movies don't have any demons. They're not. It's just if you ever seen Pitch Perfect, it's gonna one of them is gonna be a K-pop version of Pitch Perfect. Again, whatever. And then the other one is about a girl, a Korean American girl going on a K-pop survivor show. Now, are they gonna be really candid or are they gonna be campy? Like if they be I want a real, I'm gonna tell y'all what I want. I want a real K-pop TV show. I don't want a movie. I want a TV show. I want a K-drama-esque K-pop show that takes place in the K-pop industry that is actually not campy and funny because both of these projects sound real like they're going to be lighthearted, having like comedic elements, and it's going to be geared toward young people. So it's going to be geared toward teenagers. I want a real, as authentic as much as they can of the K-pop industry. And it can take a young actor or actress or actresses or actors and take them from the time that they're young and they're being trainees all the way up to them being superstars, whether it be a girl group or a boy group. I would love to see a K-pop TV show of them taking a group and just their journey through the K-pop industry and everything that I want. If y'all ever see the show Empire, I want a K-pop version of Empire. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a fictionalized version of a K-pop survival show. And they're on this reality show and they got to deal with mean girls and they're having frenemies and it's going to be like, oh girl, I can sing better than you. Ooh, she can really sing. Should she be in the group? Oh, well, she's the mean girl. Because I can always tell you what the tropes are going to be. They're going to have a K-pop show. They're going to have the mean girl. They're going to have the shy girl that can really, really sing. They're going to have the dancer. Like they're going to have tropes. I don't want to see K-pop tropes in a K-pop movie. I want, you can have fun and you can have excitement, but I want real, like, here's these girls that are trainees and we're going to take you through the rigors all the way up to them being superstars. I want that kind of TV show for K-pop. And it's just drama, just lots of drama. I loved Empire. Yeah, I want a K-pop Empire. So either we're focusing on a character like Isuman. Him and his wife starts a business. So take it either from the artist perspective or take it from who created this industry perspective. Like you don't have to call the company SM Entertainment. It don't have to be Isuman, but somebody like that. Him and his wife decided to start this company. And you take a husband and wife team and you rise them up to the upper echelons of K-pop. How they started out with this label, this ragtag label, and they have family members and friends and them borrowing money and them having a dream of bringing Korean music to America and tell their story. So that's one way you could do it. Or you could do it with the group. Or you can do both and just like Empire, go back and forth with the artists and with the executives. I would love to see an Empire-like show with K-pop. So again, y'all heard it from me first. So if we ever see this happen, y'all know I thought of it first. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Pitch Perfect. I don't want to see there's another movie that came out a couple of years ago that was about kind of like an American Idol kind of show. I don't want to see I forgot the name of the movie, but it was kind of like an American Idol. It was a show that tanked. It wasn't a show, it was a movie that was kind of like these kids were like kind of on an American Idol show and it tanked. Nobody wanted to see that. I don't want to see an American Idol type fictionalized show for K-pop, I'll get the credit. Hopefully I'll get the credit. Deidre said, I kind of think that the movie will do well because of Bangtan Universe. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, there is a series with BTS. I forgot what it's called too. And I keep wanting to watch it. I keep wanting to watch it. But I just want something like that. either a boy group or a girl group, and or focus on the executives. Focus on these people who bring this company together and the things and them managing artists and having to deal with all that. Why not have a K-pop group that's really undercover agents pretending to be a K-pop group? They're looking into some disappearance of other K-pop idols. Right. You can take a whole dramatic, like true crime kind of thing, and contract and money and crime and trainees come up missing. You could do a whole thing. That's a great idea, Katina. That's a great idea. I just don't want it to be kitschy and funny and, oh girl, you can really dance. Yuck, yuck. I don't want it to be Mean Girls with K-pop and singing. Because that's kind of when I think of shows, that's kind of how I see it. Mean Girls meet Pitch Perfect in singing. So basically, a K-pop version of a Mean Girls musical. I don't want to see that. They're not in high school, but they're on a survival show. But they're acting like high school. They're just 17, 18-year-old girls, and they're trying to get in the industry. Like, I don't want to see Mean Girls K-pop version. Like, I don't, that's something I don't want to see. So, but HYBE is producing. So again, be on the lookout. It's supposed to be coming out. They already cast it. They're going to start filming it. They're going to film in South Korea. And it'll probably be coming out maybe 2027, I think. So be on the lookout for that again. So that is the end of the HYBE. So now we're going to get into the next segment, which is what is going on in K-pop. I got some things to discuss. First of all, has anybody been watching K-pop? K-pop is a show that's on Apple TV. And I've run across, no one is really talking about it, but it's where they bring K-pop groups and singers and they pair them with like K-pop legends, people, Western artists. So I don't know anybody who watches this show. I'm just gonna ask you guys. I wrote it down because I'm like, who is watching this show? Because apparently nobody. Like they had Kepler and Vanilla Ice. They had Jay Blavin and ATs. Like they had some really good people on here. Like Hannah Montana. No, I don't want K-pop Hannah Montana. So K-pop, I'm looking at they had Kylie Minogue and ATs. They had the Spice Girls. They had the Spice Girls with y'all. And they had Boys to Men and Black Swan, and I love Black Swan, y'all. I hope y'all didn't know that. I like Black Swan. I support them. I found Black Swan by accident. So yes, it's an Apple TV show, and again, they get some good views. They have I'm looking at their videos, and they have 1.2 million views. And yes, Itzy was up here with the Spice Girls. Y'all know Spice Girls. Y'all know old school music. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so it's like my jam. And so it's a show that nobody's really talking about. How about a K-pop group? One of them is a vampire and make it suspenseful. I take it. I think a vampire. I take some mermaids. Like they even have Scary Spice on here. Mel B. I think Mel B is so beautiful. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. But they even have Mel B. I love Mel B. Mel B is gorgeous and she's old. Girl, Mel B's like my age. Mel B is gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. Like she looks good. Yeah, she looks good. And so I just want to know, you've never heard about it? ATP86. What? You never heard about it? I don't have Apple either. I just watch the things. Like they have my Spice Girls up there. Y'all know. They had Boys to Men and Black Swan. And Boys to Men and Black Swan actually went out to eat. And they went drinking in Korea. And it was so hilarious. They were teaching them what to drink. And they hung out. And Boys to Men are legends. Like Boys to Men. Like I was like, they had Joy One and Eve. They had Eve on here, y'all. Eve. I was like, what? They had Kesha. They had Meg Thee Stallion and Billy Savage. Y'all know I love Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion is like my spirit animal. She my spirit person. Like late at night, I think I'm Meg Thee Stallion. Like when I go to bed at night, I channel the spirit of Meg Thee Stallion because that's my girl. I love Meg Thee Stallion. I think she is one of the most gorgeous things that I've ever seen. Like Meg Thee Stallion had me question my sexuality every time. I'll be like, I'm not gay, but I'm not gay, but a Meg Thee Stallion would ever come my way, I would be like, well, girl, once again, I'd be like, well, I'm gay today. I find Meg Thee Stallion gorgeous. I think like her look is just gorgeous. Like her face to me is just gorgeous, and her body is gorgeous. Like she lost a whole bunch of weight. She was gorgeous before, but Meg Thee Stallion, I don't see how anybody would not fall in love with her because to me, there's something about her face that is very like um pretty and pleasing. So I love her. But yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about this show. And again, I'm not on the social media or anything, so y'all let me know. They had Patti LaBelle. They had Patti LaBelle, y'all. Like my jaw dropped singing Lady Marmalade with Billy. Billy is a K-pop group, by the way. But yeah, I was floored. I'm like, why is nobody talking about this show? They had TLC and Stacy. They had TLC and Stacy in 4 weeks ago. They. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, what is happening? I'm I'm floored. Like I can't believe it. I was like, they was like, don't go chasing waterfall. I was like, yeah. And they had like Boy George on there and everything. They had Vanilla Ice and Taylor Dane and Kepler. Taylor Dane, y'all. The story. Do y'all know the story of Taylor Dane? If y'all know the story of Taylor Dane, it's kind of sad. But Taylor Dane is has this amazing voice, and she was a singer back in the day. You definitely go look at the clips. I believe I've seen a clip of someone's YouTube page. Someone said, "I guess I'm gay." Yeah, guess I'm gay now. I'm gay today. So yeah, I would tell people please check out K-pop. Please, they have clips online. It's on Apple TV, YouTube page, and I just couldn't believe it that they had Vanilla Ice with Taylor Dane up here singing. I couldn't believe it. And Taylor Dane looks amazing. Like she is amazing. Yes, that's all my childhood. I love Taylor Dane, and Taylor Dane is effing gorgeous. Like Taylor Dane is in shape. She is thick and she is gorgeous. And Taylor Dane's like in her 50s. Taylor Dane is gorgeous. Remember Taylor Dane? Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Is this really love or just a game? Tell it to my heart. Oh my God, that was my song. I can make your body rock every time you call my name. Tell it to my heart. Well, that was my song back in the day, baby. Like I said, I was watching these clips last weekend. They had Boy George with Stacy. Like I was amazed. Girl, yeah, Gal Gadot. I think she's very pretty. Gal Gadot is very pretty. She's until I sing it, girl. I'm back in the day. This was, they had Boy George on there. I couldn't. Kylie Minogue. Like Kylie Minogue is like a legend. Like can't get you out of my head. And she was singing with ATs. I was like, why is nobody watching this show? Like, who is not watching this show? So I was just shocked that nobody's talking about this show really. And so I would tell y'all, please go watch K-pop. But I thought that was kind of weird. So that's K-pop. Then we're gonna talk about do y'all know EXO is in a contract dispute with SM? I just found this out like a couple of days ago. There are 3 members of EXO that have been in a contract dispute with SM Entertainment for 2023. Now, if you look on my channel, I went to Kai. Kai is a member of EXO, and I went to his concert and I lamented. I came on my live stream and I told all y'all that I was lamented that this concert looked cheap. Okay, other people have remarked that the concert, if you watch my concert vlog, watch it, that the concert looked cheap. They did not put SM Entertainment didn't put any money into this damn concert. Okay, not none. And Kai got up there and danced and sung and sweated, and he did a really good job. It was very professional, and I wasn't familiar with his work, but I liked a lot of his songs. And at one time, one of his songs was my ringtone because I listened to his songs and I was like, Kai has a very R&B sensual R&B flavor to his music that I totally love. And I had only heard, like, I think before I went to the concert, one of his songs. But if you watched my concert vlog, it is very cheap. Okay. And I went to this concert, I think that was like 3 weeks ago. It was very cheap. And yeah, I was mad about that. So for what y'all didn't know, the other three members of EXO are actually in a contract dispute with SM, and and then they went through mediation this week, and mediation has failed. So that's why they made news, and I found out mediation has failed. So they're trying to negotiate. The three other members want out of their contracts for sure. They want to be out of their contract. They cite that the reason why they want to be out of their contract is because of unfair treatment, real unfair treatment, not New Jeans unfair treatment, real unfair treatment. Okay, you dig? So I was reading the articles. They would feel like SM has cheated them out of money, cheated them out of royalties. That SM has not put in any money for producers and writers for their albums. That they have not put money in their concert tours, and that kind of like got me up because I'm like, yeah, because Kai, he just got the military and his tour was not good at all. Like it was not. They wrong for that. So I did not know. I'm asking y'all, did y'all know that the EXO members have been in a contract dispute since 2023 and mediation has failed? I didn't even know that. I thought they were in the military and they were just waiting for the rest of them to get out. No, they want out of SM. And the things that they are alleging is really, really real shit. You know, they're claiming that they stiffed them for their money, that they didn't get royalties. It's nothing to do about branding deals, but they said that they were mismanaged and mistreated. They weren't given, like they weren't, that the company has not put any money in them with their last album, and that they didn't get production, they didn't get time in the studio, they're alleging a bunch of things, that they have been basically underpaid and mistreated. They stayed doing the EXO boys so wrong. Is that true? They bought some. That's what I couldn't understand. I told Jennifer. I said, Jennifer's like, I cannot believe they would do EXO that way when they brought so much money to the company for years now, for like over 10 years. And I can't believe they still making money out of EXO. And I cannot believe. And when I saw that concert, that's how I knew something was wrong. Because that concert was ridiculous. For somebody to be part of a legendary group like EXO, and for Kai to come out with his solo albums and solo songs and EXO, and they just put him on the stage with just a screen, and that was it. Like I told y'all, we didn't get no lasers. I didn't get no smoke. We didn't get no confetti. Nothing. I ain't even get no damn confetti. We didn't get no like little placards that I always hold up. We didn't get nothing. Like none of that happened. They put no money into into his world tour. Not none. They didn't put no promotions in. I heard from EXO fans that they barely even put any promotions into this tour. You know, I did. I said it's messed up. I called it. Yeah, I was sad. You know, it's just and then to watch the vlog. I even watched the vlog because I like the music, and I had a really good time. But it was just sad to see such a prestigious group that even I know they're a prestigious group, and I'm a K-pop newbie. But to see how like much lack of effort they put into his concert was just sad. Yeah, I'm happy that the fans did show up. They showed up and they were clapping and cheering and they loved their kind. But I was happy that they showed up. But it was just, you could tell the SM put no money. They don't put no money in the costumes, nothing. They nothing. Like there is no excuse. And people are like, well, he got out of the military. I said, yeah, but they've been playing this concert. They playing concerts way ahead of time. In order to book venues, it has to be at least 6 months to a year ahead of time. So it's not like he just got out the military and they threw a tour together. This has been planned for quite a while. And they didn't even give him enough money to even change costumes. I'm just like, wow. Like he did like 3 costume changes. I was like, it was just ridiculous. You know, I'm glad the fans did show up for him. But yeah, I just thought I'd ask y'all that because I didn't realize that. And then they went to mediation and they still can't come to an agreement. And they want out of their contract. And they want back royalties paid. They want out of that contract. And also, then the other thing that's on the thumbnail we need to talk about is Plave. Now, some of y'all may not know who Plave is. Plave is, they are on Weverse. I subscribe to them on Weverse. I found them accidentally like a year and a half ago. They've been around for about 2 years. They are a virtual reality group, okay? They are an animated group, okay? Very sophisticated anime. I watched a whole like video special as to how they brought Plave to life and like other animated groups that have been in K-pop throughout the years. There are other animated groups out there, But Plave, for their credit, have been the most successful. So Plave has had concerts. Plave has had concerts. I tried to talk Jennifer into going to their concert, and Jennifer says she'd be damned if she's gonna sit there and watch some people on a screen. Yes, they are. Marie, you ain't heard of Plave? Yes, they are they're a virtual boy band formed by a company called Vlast. The group consists of 5 members: Yoojun, Noah, Bambi, Yoonho, and Heymin. Yes, you can look them up. They have their own YouTube channel. They have their own Weverse account. They do lives. There's videos about how they do. They actually have concerts. They've actually been, I think they've been on Mnet and stuff. Let me look it up and I'll tell y'all. They have dance performance videos. And I think they're on their second tour. They haven't really hit big here in America or internationally. Sounds interesting, but it's really sophisticated. The company, from the videos I watched, the company uses a mixture of virtual reality and motion capture. So they're really guys dancing. They use a blend of virtual reality, AI. Virtual reality, motion capture, and animation. So it looks very realistic. You think I've heard of them, but I'm with no. So if you watch their performance videos, it is very much like watching real guys. Okay, so I'm just letting y'all know. And so, but again, motion capture, virtual reality, and animation are used to make this group. And if you have not seen them, their songs are actually good. They have concerts, y'all. They have these really sophisticated 3D kind of that people pay money for. Yeah, you're gonna have to look that up because they're very sophisticated. And so they do Weverse, they do live streams. Deidre said, oh my goodness. They do Weverses, they do live streams, they have their own social media accounts, each one of the members. They have light sticks, just like a regular group. At all purposes. Well, knowing K-pop and K-pop be as unhinged as hell. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, when I read this story, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. There was somebody in South Korea who had created social media accounts and they were harassing Plave. Now y'all don't laugh. They were harassing Plave online. They were bullying them online. They were going to their social media accounts in Weverse and writing disparaging things in the comments. They created an account where they were going in saying that they couldn't sing. Now, the people who voice these characters are real people. The people who sing the songs are real people. So we don't know who these real people are. They're hidden. But this person apparently tried to find out who the real people behind Plave was in an attempt to dox them. And then on top of that, I think that's what people are saying, that they were a boy group who didn't fit the image of a K-pop group. Yes, they were harassing. They created accounts on X and Instagram where they were saying that they couldn't sing and that they were ugly. And I think one of them, they were saying that they were fat. They drawn. These are not real. They don't really look like this. They are drawn. They are drawn people. These are animated virtual reality people. Now, yes, the actors and the singers. This person created social media accounts to dog out a virtual reality group saying that they was ugly, they couldn't sing, they didn't deserve to be in the industry, they was fat, and I think they were sexually harassing one of them. I think one of them, they were sending like nasty messages to one of them saying that they wanted to do nasty things to him. Okay, so I was like, this is the most unhinged story I've ever heard. They not real. We don't know what the real guys look like. They tried to dox them many times. They even harassed their agency. Yeah, these people that lost their damn minds, Deidre. I said, Y'all do know they're not real. So this harassment has been going on for over a year. Even though they told this person, they've complained to the social media, they've told this person to stop, they send cease and desist. So eventually, Vlast sent sent an injunction to figure out who this person was. They found out who this person was. They took this person to court, and just this week, they got like the person got discovered. The person was in court, and then her defense was that they weren't real people, but they was real enough for you to be sexually harassed. How do you sexually harass a virtual reality person? How do you tell a virtual reality person they fat? How does that work? You drawn real fat. I mean, how does that work? How do you harass somebody online and be like, well, y'all have no talent? If you don't like them, move on. Like, you don't have to support. I don't know. They performed on NBC, y'all. They was on Mnet and everything. They did, like, they've done collaborations. Like, how do you say they ugly when they not real people? So they sued them and they won their judgment. The court said that just like any other K-pop group, this person was maliciously going online and saying these things and harassing them, number one, trying to dox them, it's illegal, number two, and number three, it was ruining their reputation. That's big in South Korea. So they said that this person, they got found guilty and they had to pay the members 100,000 won each. Now, I forgot the breakdown of how many dollars that is, but they have to pay each member money. They lost the lawsuit. So they were fined, and then they had to pay each one of the members 100,000 Korean won. I'm glad they won. Some people are just dumb like that. If they don't like the group, just move on. Like, why they not real people? I'm just like, girl, did they know that they not? These are fictional characters. Like, they're not. Like, I don't know whether to laugh or cry about that. I was just like, how mentally ill do you have to be? And the person that was harassing them, this was like a grown-ass woman. This was like a 31-year-old woman from what I hear. That she was a grown woman sitting up in the court. You are a grown woman. Most of the people who love Plave are teenagers. Most of their demographic are young. You know, obviously because they're animated. They look like anime boys, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you drawn fat. I want to have your little robot. And then she was like, well, two of them are ugly. What? I'm like, girl. And it turned out it was like I think they were saying like some 30-year-old woman I was like, she must be mentally ill. Because I don't understand that. And literally, she would go to fan pages and write in comments, horrible, evil thing. This group is horrible. They have no talent. Like, she would go to other fans who have pages set up for them and harass fans. Oh, is that how much it is? And harass fans that like the group. She would go on Weverse on their live streams and write horrible things in their live streams. Like, she was relentless. And this went on for over a year. I'm like, lady, I don't know if this lady needed a hobby. I don't know what Plave did to her. I don't know. But it was just odd. Like, it just sounded like this person was mentally ill. So I read that story and I read it and I watched the video in Korea now and I was cackling. Like, I was literally on the ground laughing because I was like, y'all crazy. Like, this is not stable behavior. So that's all I have for what's happening in Korea regarding K-pop. So now let's get on to Korea. Her folks should have checked on her every day because she sounded nutty. So let's get into what's happening in Korea. The first story I would say I posted in my post about there's a religion called the Church of Unification. They're worldwide, but they're really big in Korea. They got their start in South Korea. The leader of the church is this little old lady that's like in her 70s. This little old lady is finna get indicted because Korea don't play. So Korea don't play. So Korea has laws set up that if you are in politics, you hold an office, you cannot accept donations and bribes and anything. So a lot of these politicians get slick. So they go through their spouses. So they go through their husband, their wives, their kids, where people give gifts. Now, this ties into K-pop. Now, y'all remember when that stuff happened with Suga? And y'all remember the old president, his wife was being investigated because she was accepting Gucci purses and stuff like that. Y'all remember that? And y'all remember a lot of people were saying that one of the reasons why this shit with Suga went on is because of Jin, and also because the old president, his wife was being investigated. Because in Korea, these companies, churches, whatever, they can't give the money to the president or the politician. But what they do is they give bribes and stuff to the wives or to the husbands, the spouses of the politicians. That is illegal too. So y'all remember when, like I said, when all that stuff happened with Suga, the wife of the president was being investigated for accepting all kinds of bribes and Gucci belts and purses. Yeah, y'all remember that. Make sure y'all hit that like button, please. And so y'all remember that. Well, the head of the Unification Church in Korea, she has been indicted for giving bribes to the former president's wife. The former president's wife, if you didn't know right now, she is in court about to go to jail, honey. She is in court being indicted. Like about to go to jail. So they're getting everybody who gave her bribes. And like I said, Korea don't play. Korea is like, we don't want corporations, religions, or anything. They have limits on how much they can donate, but they get around that again by giving these people, their spouses, gifts. So this head of this Unification Church, which is low-key like a cult, I watch my video where I talk about cults in Korea. The Unification Church, even though that's not in my video, they are considered a big Christian church, but they're really a low-key cult, okay? And so she was indicted and arrested last week because, again, she says that she wasn't doing it and she's a respected person. But that's what these churches do. Now, what's even more interesting about this story is that this lady, this head of this church, Unification Church, little old lady, they said that the president's wife had a vision of Korea, of a Korea first, church first thing. So even with everything that's going on here in America, I tell people, like, this is worldwide. These people have politics in Korea, the South Korean president's wife, of kicking out foreigners, okay, which we'll talk about foreigners in South Korea because it's booming. So they had this thing where they wanted to turn South Korea into some Christian nation and kick out all foreigners or some shit like that. Just crazy stuff. But in Korea, they don't play with that. So they snatched this old lady up. She rolled in her wheelchair to court, and they're going to indict her because they found out that she was giving bribes to the president's wife. And again, that has to do with Suga because a lot of us, included, think that the reason why Suga was so in the news is to cover up the president's wife, what she was doing. So apparently it wasn't just because it started out where the reporters and things were investigating her. No, she's really going to go to jail, y'all. They predict that this broad is going to go to jail. The former president's wife is going to go to jail. She was taking Gucci purses and Gucci braid. She was like, the former president's wife was like, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Okay, she was like, Gucci gang. She's like, give me that Louis V. She want them Louis V's that J-Hope had on. She wanted them pants. She wanted them belt. She wanted that Balenciaga. She wanted that Valentino. She saw Suga wearing some Valentino. She wanted that Valentino scarf. She wanted a whole jacket, girl. Miss Thing wanted everything. She was getting all kinds of kicks back. Her drip was dripping, okay? She came through dripping, drip, drip. Like, she was on it, girl. Yeah, the Korean culture, wild. Yep, I kept saying what else is happening in South Korea. That was one of the things she was being investigated. There's also a reporter that allegedly, the official is that this particular reporter that was investigating the South Korean president's wife, he apparently unalived himself. That was going on too, that just left out of the news. The Suga thing happened, and the South Korean president's wife and the reporter who unalived himself, all suddenly that was going out the news. It was sugar, 24/7. Fake ass videos, the speculation. They call Suga everything but a child of God, honey. They was like, Suga's a drunk. Suga's not doing good in the military. Suga, he all kinds of things ran wild. Like, again, this is my trial by fire. I talk about it in my videos a lot. Because that's when I became Army with the whole thing with them going after, with so much shit that had driven my alts into the ether. So all of this stuff happened when the South Koreans, so she's going to get indicted finally. And I'm like, hi, I'm like, ding dong, the witch is dead. It couldn't happen to a better person. I cannot wait to when this chick get indicted. I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna do a dance, I'm gonna be tap dancing, I'm be body rolling, I'm be pussy popping, I'm be twerking it, because this South Korean president's wife needs to go to jail. She is wholly corrupt, and again, I blame her and her bullshit for the reason why Suga was so relentlessly attacked. Because all of that stuff, that scandal with her went out the news just like that. And it never really came back. And people kind of kept it on the hush hush that she was being investigated, and now she's being indicted, and now she's going to have trial, and her ass is going to go to jail where she belongs. So couldn't happen to a nicer person. Bye, bitch. But I hope that works out for her. You know, that made my blood boil. Poor Suga had to go through all of that just to cover up some mess. Yes, government corruption. And I couldn't understand. I was like, why are they going after the president's wife? And then somebody explained to me, they're like, girl, this is how companies bribe politicians. They go through their wives and they give them gifts. And then the wife in turn takes these gifts and they sell them. They sell these Balenciaga bags or red bottom shoes. These are bloody shoes. Like Cardi B said, these are red bottoms. These are bloody shoes. So they take the shoes and the items and then they sell them. And then they get the money for it. And so that's how they accept bribes. They go through their spouses. So I didn't understand, but now I get it now. Because I was like, what the wife got to do with anything? The other thing in Korea, right, everybody's talking about Kakao Talk. So Kakao Talk is the app, the messaging app that everybody in Korea uses. I use Kakao Talk to contact people in Korea. Whenever my sister-in-law goes to Korea, the only way you can really talk to people is through Kakao Talk internationally. They have international accounts and one for South Korea. It's the biggest app in South Korea. So it's the app that people use with their bosses. It's app that people use with their kids schools, their teachers will Kakao message you with updates. Businesses, contractors, somebody coming to fix your plumbing, you really Kakao message them. Text messaging is really not a big thing in South Korea. It's always Kakao Talk. You have group chats. BTS members are rumored to have group chats on Kakao, within themselves, but then also with other. Did y'all know? Wait a minute. Did y'all know that allegedly that Jungkook is in a Kakao Talk group, and that the name of the Kakao Talk group is the 97ers or the 97s? It's something like that. Have you heard that before? Do you have one as well? Have I heard of the Red Shoe Club? No, I have not, Deidre. But did y'all hear about that? Yes. Okay, somebody told me about that. Once again, I've been thinking people be lying to me. They just full of shit. But okay. Oh, Deidre said no. But yes, there is a group chat that Jungkook belongs to called like the 97s, which is they're all born in 97. And it's like him and Chana Woo guy, and there's a bunch of other people that I've heard that are in this group chat. But anyway, that's a side piece. But Kakao's updated their app. But they went from a messaging app. Now it looks like Instagram. So now there's like a feed. It changed to a feed system. So before you pull up Kakao, you just have the people that you're subscribed to that that you can talk to. You can do a group chat or individual chat. It's not like that anymore. So they did have a way, I think I was reading, where you could not do the updates, but some people phones automatically update. Like some people have it on their phones where it automatically updates the app. So this has been a shitstorm in South Korea. Even HYBE did a video on his other channel, Classic Korea, where he talked about how this has just been such a controversy that people are talking about deleting the app. Kakao Talk is like their stock dropped because people are upset. Their stock was dropping before. Kakao is the same company that's being indicted. We talked about that last month. They had a court case last month because they had the whole thing with SM. And remember, HYBE was trying to buy SM, and then Kakao entered the chat. Kakao Talk has entered the chat. And it was all of that dealings with that I talked about in previous videos with Kakao and SM and HYBE. And yeah, if y'all remember all that, child, this went, a lot of it went on last year, but they're still, Kakao, the CEO is still, the guy who created it is still in court. And I think they go back to court next month. But Kakao owns a lot of things. They own gaming, they do a lot of things. And so their little brand is like this little bear, and it's everywhere. It's all over South Korea. So Kakao Talk is like the biggest thing, and so they changed it. Yeah, they need to stop playing with folks. So people are upset because people are like, people's little kids are on Kakao Talk to message their parents, message their school friends. They like, we don't want our kids to be on a social media thing with a feed, and then anybody that you ever contact, all their stuff will pop up in your feed. So people that you contacted years ago, people you contacted in high school 10 years ago, all of a sudden everybody's business is popping up in a feed. And people are like, oh my God. Okay, hi, Nick Nage. So Kakao is, yeah, people are, and the reason why Kakao has done this is because over the years their stock has been dropping and their usage has been dropping. There have been other services like WhatsApp and Line that people have been using, and so Kakao has been dropping in popularity and in stock. So that's another reason why they changed it, and then now they have more ads on Kakao as well. So y'all understand that this is about money. This is not about the users or Kakao wanting to change things because they released a statement and it was like wah wah wah. But they're doing this because they want to have more ads and they want people to use their app more. So this is just about Kakao want people to use it. I haven't upgraded. I'm still on the old one, and I don't have my app set to automatic. Anytime there's an upgrade, I get a notification saying, "Do you want to upgrade?" And I did not upgrade Kakao, so mine's still on the old message. And then they don't have it. I don't a way. They don't have a way to revert back to the old one. So people are upset about that as well. So people, I mean, it's been an S storm in South Korea. Like this is a really 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 big deal. And so people have been upset with it. And I wonder, thought to myself, I wonder what the K-pop singers think about all the people that they contact coming up in their feed now, like people they contacted a long time ago. And then their stuff is coming up in your feed and your stuff is coming up in their feed. Pictures that they posted were popping up in the feed. Like none of this stuff is private. So people are very upset. So that's what's going on with Kakao. The other thing we need to talk about what's going on in Korea is South Korea tourism. South Korea is now the #1 destination for tourists. If you didn't know, now you know. South Korea is has overtaken Japan. Japan is pretty popular with foreign tourists. South Korea is now #1 in foreign tourism. There are so many foreigners that have visited South Korea just because of K-drama and K-pop that even though K-pop has stocks have dipped and K-pop's popularity has dipped internationally, it's still a popular destination to go. Korea is cheaper than America. It's the food is cheaper. It's cheaper to live in Korea than it is to live in America. Not by a whole lot, but by enough. Their food is cheaper. Food is just cheaper in Korea. And there's so many different tours. There's the K beauty industry has their thing. It's cheap to get work done in Korea. And so there's so many different kinds of tours. When 10 years ago, these things didn't even exist. Now there's tons of K-pop tours and K-beauty and language tours and nature tours and history tours. So it's just whatever you want to do in South Korea. But yes, it is bringing in more and more and more tourism. Some people are going to start to complain, like Japan. Japan was mad because they've been overstretched with tourists. Like Japan, a lot of the locals have complained about tourists everywhere in Japan. Japan is very popular, but now Japan, people are skipping Japan and they're going to South Korea now. And so that's how it goes. Japan is sick of tourists. Yes, they're increasing their prices, and Japan has areas where tourists cannot go. They start limiting areas because it's just over tourism now in Japan. So Japan is not the place to go. If you want to go someplace cheaper, South Korea is very lovely. And it's just going to be a matter of time before people are going to get sick of the foreigners. Also in South Korea, there are more foreigners going to school in South Korea. Right now, South Korea is starting in 2026. They have initiated a visa program, their own visa program to draw tech people to South Korea because South Korea is trying to create their own chat GPT. So I talked about this, about the South Korean presidents trying to bring more innovation to South Korea and changing K-pop. Remember I told you about that? And I said one of the things that they're doing is South Korea wants their own AI companies. They want to develop their own AI. They want to have their own kind of chat GPT, and they want it Korean based. And so they feel like it's the future. It's going to bring in um, revenue and things like that. And so they are trying to attract all kinds of tech people. And so if anybody wants to study technology, they're going to offer up starting next year all kinds of scholarships, all kind of visa programs. There are more foreigners going to school in South Korea. I talked about it with my son today, and I was like, "Are you sure you don't want to go to South Korea?" I would love for my son to go to college in South. I mean, we got time. My son's 15, but I told him he needs to start thinking about what he wants to do for college. And I would love for him to go to college in South Korea. It just depends. He doesn't know what he wants to do. And I told him just start thinking about it, like, so we can start, doing things. But yes, they're looking for tech workers in South Korea. And so it's a great opportunity for young people. The other thing that's happening in South Korea, if you don't know, there is a thing called the Choco Pie. Now look, there's a Choco Pie controversy. Now it's South Korea. Everything's if you have not heard of a Choco Pie is basically this chocolate dessert. It's like this cake with cream. It's like this cake and it's covered in chocolate. Now I'm not a chocolate lover. I have had a Choco Pie. There are a lot of K-pop singers that talk about eating choco pies as a child. And they're really popular. They're like the Twinkie of South Korea. They're like the hostess cake of South Korea. So everybody loves the choco pie. I go to the Korean stores, grocery stores here that we have again where I live. We have the second largest expat community of South Koreans in the country. We're second to Koreatown in LA. So there are more Koreans that live here in the North Texas area that live any place besides California. So we have a huge, so you guys always see me going. I got to post a video where I went to BB.Q. If you know BTS commercials, I didn't know that BTS did a BB.Q promotion, but anyway, but I'm going to post my video of me going to BB.Q because I love BB.Q. That's a cheat day for me because it has all that breading and I'm not supposed to eat it, but I love BB.Q and BTS has done promotions for them back in the day. But anyway, I digress. So a choco pie is this dessert. So in Korea, there is a controversy. A man got arrested for eating some damn choco pies. And let me tell you what happened. So it's late at night. This guy is working late. Okay. He's a hard-working guy. I think he's in his 30s. He was working late. So at work, I work from home, but I used to work in the office. I worked in offices. So y'all know y'all had like the break room and y'all know y'all had a refrigerator. So apparently either the vending machine company or something or somebody puts choco pies in the refrigerator. So this dude was working late. He had been working there 10 years. So he would go late at night when he working at night and take a choco pie, right? Because he hungry. He like his choco pie. So he would go inadvertently, not every day, but go take choco pie at the refrigerator. Now, if you done worked in the office, you know that people sometimes go in there and eat other people's food. Every place that I worked at where we have had a break room refrigerator, motherfuckers' whole lunches would come up missing. I didn't put some Hostess Twinkies in there. I had like a little cake that me and my teammates are gonna share. And then by the time I put it in there and came to work the next morning, that whole cake was gone. Somebody took my whole ass mini cake that I was gonna divide it up in 4 pieces for people on my team. Somebody stole my carrot cake. I'm still salty about that, but this was like many years ago. But anyway, I digress. So sometimes y'all put shit in the refrigerator, and sometimes people steal your lunch more than New York. What the fuck is going on with the choco pie? They good. Let the man have a choco. Yeah, so every once in a while he would go in there and take the choco pies. So somebody complained to security like the next day, and they was like, "Damn." Well, the next week they told the security guard, they like, "Somebody keeps taking the choco pies, and we want to know who it is." So the security guard is like, "Okay, it has to be happening at night because during the daytime everything's fine." So he got on the security camera and he saw the man taking the choco pies. He called his supervisor the next day and was like, "Don't you know they came and hemmed this man up Don't you know the company like called the police on this man? This man got arrested for stealing 75 cents worth of Choco Pies. So this man is in court this week because they are trying to fine him like a crazy amount of money for taking some Choco Pies. They're saying that he lost his job. They're saying it's theft of company property. This guy says he's not the only one to do it. He the only one that got caught. He said everybody goes in there and takes the damn Choco Pie. He said, I've been working here 10 years. And I done took me a Choco Pie at least once or twice a week. He said, I am not the only one. I am just the Choco Pie scapegoat. This man claims that everybody goes in there and takes the Choco Pies. And I can attest from places that I worked at, yes, the vending machines company will put stuff in there. They will put stuff in the fridge. And yes, people would go in there and open the box and they would eat the Snickers. They would tear the Snickers and the Twix up. They would get the nuts out to the point where the vending machine guy had to go put it in a storage closet and lock it up. He couldn't put it in the refrigerator no more. So Choco Pies ideally have to be refrigerated. So yes, this is what happened for a Choco Pie. So yes, this guy is in court and it's been a total political discussion in Korea. People are taking sides. People are saying he need to be freed. Free the Choco Pie man. Free him. Free Choco Pie. And I don't think this man should be fined or go to jail for stealing some Choco Pie. So that was a big controversy in South Korea that I thought was kind of funny because people are taking sides. It's like the great Choco Pie debate. So you see it, you'll see it there. People have been talking about it on the internet. It's the great Choco Pie debate. Should the man be going to court over some child? I think the man should have paid a fine, maybe paid the company a couple of $100, and they should have just not fired him and should have just told him don't do it no more and moved on. And sent out an email to everybody saying don't nobody go take no more Choco Pie. But the idea that they got this man in court, that he's getting fined and possibly go to jail over some, talking about it's still theft, over some Choco Pie, talking about he did it over a long period of time. And I know damn well that man was not the only one up there stealing them pies. So what they supposed to do with the Choco Pies in the fridge? They go in the vending machine. They not for the people to eat. They go in the vending machine. They just put them in there because they need to stay cold, and they're supposed to go to the vending machine. So the people be eating them, and they order more. And this has been going on for 10 years. They were like, everybody know people, especially the workers who work late at night, will go in there and steal a Choco Pie or two. Yeah, they had to pull the security. Yeah, they're saying that they're going to go back and pull the security footage and see. And so they're in court over this. And people are taking sides. People are upset that this guy should have never got arrested. He should never got indicted. He should never be in court. They should have him pay a fine and move the Choco Pie somewhere else and call it a day. All of this, they're spending more money with court costs and all of this for some Choco Pies. Right, just for the Choco Pies. Yeah, they should have. Yeah, this is crazy. So it's caused a big kerfluffle in South Korea. It's the great Choco Pie debate. People are taking sides and, it's crazy. But I thought that was kind of funny, though, because people are taking sides. Like, should he be indicted? Should he be not? I'm like, he shouldn't be going to jail for no Choco Pie. I'm like, that man should not be dragged to court. He shouldn't have lost his job over taking some 70 cents worth of Choco Pies. And I granted he did it more than once. But he's talking about everybody do it. So everybody do it. So it's like they should have did something about this years ago, Get another fridge or something. Yes, and lock them up somewhere else. Once they figured out they were coming up missing, they should have just moved them. They should have just moved the Choco Pies. But they didn't. And they said this has been going on for 10 years. The guy was saying people work late. This is what they do all the time. And it's not like they're taking a whole box. I think he took 2 in a week. And then another couple of weeks later, he was working late. He took another one. So it's not like he working late every night. He only does it when he works really late. And it's not every time. So I think in a month, they were saying that he took maybe 4 Choco Pie, 4 or 5 in a month. I think that's what they were saying online. People were trying to say. So, I mean, yeah, the manager overreacted. They were saying people in Korea saying that the manager went above and beyond for them to hem this guy up and fire him and then be like, well, we're going to indict you for theft because they need to set an example for the other workers so the other workers won't do this too. So they're trying to make an example out of this man to the other workers. That's it. This is dumb. This is dumb. But that's dumb to go through all the court costs and all this just for some Choco Pie. They should have maybe fired the guy, maybe, fined him. I don't think they even should have fired him. They should have just been like, don't do this. Send out an email telling people, just don't, y'all stop doing this. We catch you, we really gonna hem you up. But to do this, and this guy, they said he's worked the company for 10 years. He's been a good employee. He hasn't been in any trouble or anything like that. To him, this man talking about he gonna go to jail for some Choco Pies. So it's crazy. Yeah, it's not that sad. I was like, damn, he must have really wanted that Choco Pies. And they ain't even that good to me, but I don't like chocolate. So there you go. The other story what came out of Korea that I need to talk about is K-pop merch. There was a huge bust in South Korea where there was some stores and they were also selling it online. This company was selling fake K-pop merch. Apparently in South Korea, from what I learned a little bit reading, is that this is a big business in South Korea. And they were selling internationally to foreigners as well. So these people had I think 3 stores in the Seoul area where they would sell K-pop merchandise. Not huge stores, but they were selling counterfeit K-pop merchandise. So what they were doing was they were making t-shirts that had brand logos on it, like BTS, aespa, whatever. They were making their own t-shirts with brand logos, which is a no-no. It's against the law everywhere. So they were making counterfeit shirts and bags and hats and merchandise, number one. Number two, they were taking albums and other merchandise, photo cards, and they were signing them. They were going on the internet, looking up the K-pop singer's signature, and they were forging the signatures and then selling these items at an exorbitant price. But all they were doing was signing the items. They were just copying the signature. So they were literally printing out the signature on trace paper and just going over the signature with trace paper to get the signature just right. And then they were selling it to fans locally and internationally. Signed albums, signed hats, signed t-shirts, signed photo cards, signed posters, signed whatever. That's what they were doing. So that's another thing they were doing. They were taking albums or whatever. They were taking albums and apparently they were digging albums out of the garbage. Like people were throwing away CDs or albums. Like they knew where people were discarding albums and they were digging them out of the garbage and just putting cellophane wrap on them and selling them as brand new. They were buying used albums online and just wrapping them in cellophane and pretending that they were brand new so they could sell them for a higher price. They had all kinds of fake toys. They had all kinds of, fake branding toys and all kinds of things. So this was a huge ring, huge ring. I think they arrested, I don't even know how many people, but they were selling things online and they were selling things in South Korea as well. Yeah, they got some good knockoffs. Yeah, they had a bunch of, and they said this is one of the biggest fake K-pop ring busts that they've had in years. I think in 4 or 5 years. And they just went in, cops went in and shut down all these stores and they were taking things out and they were dumping them and throwing them away and everything. But they're going to get indicted because it's illegal. It's a big deal in South Korea. And so, yeah, that's what happened. And fake K-pop merchandise. I have that written down here. Also, speaking of fake K-pop merchandise, let me know if y'all heard this story. Here we go again. I'm always coming here telling y'all stories, and I just want to ask. Should I bring up this story? Yeah, I'm going to bring it up because it's not really a secret. Okay, I want to know, have you guys heard last year there was somebody working for BTS? He was part of their management team, and he was promising and selling merchandise. It's not fake merchandise, but he was selling real merchandise and promising fans things in exchange for money. Did y'all hear about that person that got indicted? Did y'all hear about that? But yeah, the fake merchandise is copyright infringement. That's a big deal in South Korea. But did y'all ever hear about that? That he was a member, this person was a member of BTS's management team. He worked for BTS for quite a long time. I don't know what capacity this person, oh, you didn't? I don't know what capacity this person worked in. You guys have not heard about it. Yikes. Okay, well, this is real, but it's a story that didn't get much traction. But it's real. It's a real story. Again, somebody told me this, and I was like, once again, I have a hard time believing when people be trying to drop. I have a hard, but I looked it up. This is a real story, and it was very hush hush. But yes, there were a member of BTS, somebody who worked in the BTS management team. They wouldn't say the person's name, but I do know it was a guy. And I do know this person worked for Big Hit and HYBE for years. This person, let me tell you what they were doing. They were taking items that they got for working there. Because, you know, when you work for K-pop companies, you get, you know, free items and free stuff. And then also, this person was also taking personal things that BTS members had signed for him and gave him, and he was selling them to K-pop fans. He was also telling K-pop fans, if you pay me $300-400, I can get you signed merchandise. And then also he was telling them that he would schedule private fan meets if they would give him money. So this person extorted lots of money from armies in South Korea. And yeah, he worked with and for BTS. And of course, once they found that out, he got let go. And he was indicted in last year. I've never heard anything else about it. And so, and then somebody was telling me a bit more details about this person, that he was pretty trusted, and that this situation, I can tell y'all this, that situation, because the members were in the military and they did hear about it, that it really hit them in their heart. Like it really hit them hard. Like it really affected them on an emotional level. So when RM was in his live stream on Weverse talking about he was in the military and hearing things, yes, it was about HYBE and Jin and all that kind of stuff. But I think also it was about the employees. You know, they had 3 employees that were indicted, that are being indicted for insider trading. So there's 3, and these are 3 trusted employees. Like I did a short about that, about these 3 trusted employees that they haven't. It was 2 guys and 1 lady, and they worked for HYBE and Big Hit for quite a long time. And these are high up employees, even though they didn't say these in the article. But I'm telling y'all, the people that got indicted for insider trading, because apparently they sold a bunch of shares. I did my video about the Big Bang and IPO thing, and I talked about these employees. Apparently, these 3 employees, they were pretty high up. Like, we're not talking about like some mid-level manager in accounting. Apparently, these people worked for Big Hit, and they worked for BTS. That's what I heard. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. Newspaper articles didn't say that. But what happened was they got wind that they were going to go in the military, and then they started selling their stock, because they know that once the military was announced, that HYBE shares stock would have died. So they got these people for insider trading. So that would happen. But this story did not get traction. This other story, I have not heard anyone mention it but me. So I'm telling you, that's why I'm asking if you guys heard about it, because somebody was telling me about this. They brought it up the other day, and I was like, I don't think I remember that. Yeah. But yeah, this person got the guy, he took personal items that he got from BTS members, he was selling them. And then, like I said, he was defrauding armies by telling them, like, yeah, you give me money and I'm gonna get you, you know, a meeting, a video chat with V or whatever, or whoever. But this person was indicted. And again, it was shocked to me that somebody told me that this person was somebody who worked on the BTS team. This was not some lackey. This was a BTS member. This is somebody who'd been working with them for quite a while. And so from what I heard, I can say allegedly is that people were saying that when the BTS members found out about this in Korea, that they were quite affected with everything else going on. But I think that really hurt their hearts, that this particular person had taken items that they had given this person in friendship, and like we worked together, and so that they were taking the items and selling them as if they didn't get a good enough salary. So I don't know. I heard, maybe I shouldn't bring that up. Okay, but I'm bringing it up. I heard this person who did this allegedly had money issues. Okay, that this person had money problems. That's why they were getting paid a good salary, but I heard that they had money problems, and I don't know what kind of money problems they had. I don't know. Gambling is really big in South Korea. That's another thing that we haven't really talked about. But I would like to talk about one day about gambling in South Korea. Gambling in South Korea is really a problem. Like gambling addiction, it's really, there's been some K dramas talking about gambling and gambling addiction. Gambling addiction is really big in South Korea. Like it's a problem, especially with the young people. Like people use their credit cards, people go broke. There's documentaries you can watch online where they talk about like the young men getting addicted to gambling. There's like a horse racing thing in South. So in South Korea, they bet on horses. So you go to the, like you go to this like seedy place, right? Like don't ask me how I know this one, girl. Just don't ask. So you go to like this place, and some of these places are kind of seedy, and they have these boards with like the name of the horses and the odds and all this stuff. And men go there and they bet on horse racing, just like you see in Squid Game. You guys ever see Squid Game? And he was there. That's real. Like people do bet their money. Like the main character in the Squid Game, like the first season, like I think in the first two episodes, you see him like gambling all of his money away because gambling is a really big thing. Like you see the main character, like he takes his mom's credit card, her pension card, her credit card, and he like gambles the money away that he was supposed to have for his daughter. Like that's real. Like gambling is a really big problem in South Korea. So I think that some of these people that do these things have gambling problems. They have money problems because of their gambling addiction. You know, like from Squid Game. Yes. Jihoon from Squid Game. Yeah. That's why you can see why yeah, you can see it in ours. They do have their guard up. Just like the situation with Jimin. Remember Jimin gave that comedian, remember last year? Jimin gave that comedian friend some money and the guy took $75,000 from him and said he was going to invest it in businesses and all kinds of stuff. And it turns out that the guy borrowed money from a bunch of other people. And it turned out the guy got indicted for having like some kind of Ponzi pyramid scheme fraud thing that he was telling people he was going to invest the money and it was like a pyramid scheme. And then it turned out that it wasn't really a pyramid scheme, that the guy had a gambling addiction. Yeah, that's what happened to Jimin. I never forgot that when that happened last year with Jimin. I was so sad. I was like, that is so sad. It was, and Jimin was in the military, so he couldn't say anything. But I just remember me thinking how embarrassing that was for him. And just sad that this comedian person was somebody that he trusted enough to give 75,000 damn dollars to. And this person literally didn't invest your money. They didn't he didn't spend it on alcohol or weed or women, you know. This dude had a gambling addiction. So all the money that he got from other people, family members, friends, I heard this dude borrowed money from his family members and friends, allegedly, that this comedian had borrowed money from a lot of people, telling them that he was going to go on these certain business ventures and stuff like that, that he had these ideas for these business ventures and that he was going to reinvest their money. And this dude was just, he had a gambling addiction. He was hooked. He had the hots for the slots. I'm not trying to laugh, but he spent all of Jimin's money and all the other people. Y'all, this comedian, I think they said that he had borrowed like $1.3 million. I think they were saying at one time. So it wasn't like just Jimin's $75,000. This dude was borrowing money and asking for investors from a lot of people and people that he trusted, family members, friends, people that he worked, other comedians they worked with in the business. A lot of these things weren't put out there. But yes, Jimin got the most of the attention because it's Jimin. But this dude borrowed money from a lot of different people. This guy ran up debts. He took out bank loans. This guy ran up his credit card. He ruined his credit. This guy had property that he owned and he sold the property, all because he had a damn gambling addiction. So yes, and then Jimin, I don't know if Jimin ever got his money back. Like hopefully he got his money back. Yeah, yeah, they said this guy borrowed up to, I think they were saying at $1.3 million. Yeah. Yeah. Over the course of like, I think this is over a course of like several years that he borrowed money from people and said that he was investing the money. He wasn't investing money. He was gambling. He had a hardcore gambling addiction. Like he was gambling on the weekends. He was gambling at night. So he had to pay his rent and everything like that. And he didn't have enough money to pay his bills. So he had gambling debts and he was just losing money. Like he was just addicted to gambling. And online gambling is huge in South Korea. is huge. And like I said, one day I'm going to talk about it, about online gambling and how addictive it is, especially to young men, especially to the young men. Like there are high schoolers who are addicted to gambling. So it's a big thing. So I tell y'all, sometimes, people like, oh, they think people are greedy, and really gambling is something that is not really talked about in a lot of spaces. And it's just amazing to me because I mean, gambling can be something small because gambling is not legal in South Korea. It's not. It's kind of like this underground taboo thing because it's not legal. And so I don't know. Maybe I don't think they need to be. They talked about building casinos in South Korea, and I was like, I don't know. I don't think people can handle it because people just are just it's just some people are so desperate to make money. Like I watched this documentary about this 21-year-old dude that he was like $500,000 in debt, like because he was addicted to gambling since he was like 16 years old. Like he would steal his parents' credit cards and he would just be on with his laptop all day, all day, all day gambling, like whether it be horses, whether it be sports gambling, whether it be there's all these websites and these groups, these like WhatsApp groups out there that people bet on all kinds of things. So not just horses and sports, but just stupid things like who's gonna win this award or something like that. Yeah, 500,000. Yes, this 23-year-old owed he was a $500,000 in debt. Like his parents had kicked him out of the house. Yeah, it's an addiction. He was addicted to gambling since he was 15, 16 years old. He was online gambling. He was playing poker, all these card games online, like the online poker. It's real big in South Korea, y'all. That online poker shit is big. I don't understand it. I'm not into losing no money. I don't gamble with nothing. I'm not a very daring gambling kind of person. But I was shocked when if you go online and look it up and look at it's real sad. Like people really be get down bad and start stealing their parents' pension money. It's something that nobody really talks about. It's like a taboo thing. And speaking of taboo, also in South Korea, they have legalized tattooing. For the longest time in South Korea, tattooing is not legal. Like you had to have a special training and you have to have a special certificate in order to tattoo people, and it was rare. Like it cost a lot of money. You have to get like this kind of medical certificate. Now South Korea has done away with that. You don't have to have a special medical dispensation. You don't have to have a medical certificate and go through. Now they have pretty much legalized tattoo artists. So this has been a really good day for tattoo artists because in South Korea there's a lot of people. There's not a lot of tattoo artists in South Korea. There's not a lot because again, the hoops you have to jump through just to be a tattoo artist. But this opens the floodgates now. So I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing more artists with tattoos, more more K-pop singers. That tattooing is still kind of like a not social norm in Asia and Japan and South Korea. Kind of has a negative, well, not kind of, it does have a negative connotation. Y'all know when JK got his tattoos, everybody flipped out over it because he has a massive amounts of tattoos. And so that is definitely not the norm in South Korea. There's not a lot of people walking around with tattoos. But with this law change, you'll probably see many more people with tattoos now. JK he got his tattoo. I ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, y'all gonna get me in trouble. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. I'm not gonna yes, JK got tattoos by a wonderful tattoo artist. Yes. They consider it like you're a mobster, a gangster, a mafia. You don't find a lot of idols with tattoos. I'm not saying idols are gonna run out and go get tattoos, but I think the average Korean person, I think people are gonna get like little discreet things, not a whole y'all gonna get me in trouble. Well, no, no, but I don't think people are gonna go out there and get a whole sleeve. But I think that people are gonna get, just something tasteful. It doesn't have to be large. It doesn't, I think people are just gonna, and then tattoo artists is gonna give them easier to be a tattoo artist, more tattoo parlors and shops. One of the Stray Kid member has 3 tattoos. He does. He covered the new one in the gym video. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard JK got a new tattoo, and JK has piercings. I think I find JK's piercings and tattoos sexy. Like I love a guy with tats, especially an Asian guy with tats. It's very attractive. Sleeve me up. Yeah, I just we won't go into JK and his tattoo artist. Y'all know about that, the tattoo artist. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go down there. That's for next week. That's for next week. Yo, continue to say what? I said, y'all, I'm like, y'all gonna have me hemmed up about this tattoo artist. Y'all know the story about JK and the tattoo artist. Y'all, do y'all not know that story? Marsha know what I'm talking about. Y'all didn't see the pictures in the videos. I seen the pictures in the videos. I've heard the stories about the tattoo. Oh no, Shelly P said, oh, she said, oh that. Oh yeah, there was rumors going around at the time that JK was seeing the tattoo artist, that he was seeing her. Yeah, he had to jump through a lot of hoops to get those tattoos. Yeah, that's the story. That's a time for another. Next week I'll come and tell that story. But yeah, that's out there. That was out there for quite a while. About that, there's pictures, there are rumors, but they denied it. They denied it. They denied it though. They denied it. They denied. Yeah, she got death threats and everything because of that, which she shouldn't have. I mean, why would she, child? But they denied. But still, okay, yeah, that's for another time. But I'm just like, even if he was dating her, it was not a big deal. Like I don't know if they, yeah, it was none of their business. And again, so that's my news from Korea. This week I have. Let me talk about the videos. Um, I have several videos coming up. I have another BTS hair video. I have another video talking about the worst trends in K-pop. I'm working on that. And then I have commentary. I'm going to talk about I'm going to have a series of videos where I talk about things in K-pop that fans believe that I don't understand why they believe. We're going to talk about dating rumors. I'm not going to talk about anybody specifically about their dating rumors. Like I'm not going to talk about any artists or anything like that. But I'm just going to talk about, and not dating rumors where people were found by dispatch somewhere, and stuff like that. And anything like that. I'm not going to talk about anything like that. What I am going to talk about is uh how fans go online and put clues together. Supposedly, they're like, well, this person did this and this person did that and this, and they put clues like that kind of dating rumors. Um, she did look cool. Metaloop, she did look cool. She was very unconventional. And I seen pictures of her recently, and she looks different. But she had short hair. She was a very I I, I could see JK going back to JK being with somebody like that. I could see him testing the waters to be with somebody like just weird like that. I could see him being with somebody like that. I could see him just trying to figure out like maybe he vibed with her. I mean, doing someone's tattoo takes a long, 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 long time. And I think that like once you sit there and you have to interact and talk with the person, it takes hours and many times, many times to go back with to do a tattoo. So you get to talking to the person and you spend hours with this person. So I think maybe they got to talking, and I think it could have been a situation where they were just friends. It could have been that where they were just really cool with each other. But when you start talking to somebody and he's going back many different times and getting the tattoos done, you start having a rapport with the person. And it could have been easily where he had a rapport with this person and he liked her and she liked him and they thought, oh, we're cool. And they could have just been friends. Now, granted, I'm open to that because the pictures and things that came out, I was like, man, that really don't really look like, but they could have just been friends, but I could see JK being attracted to the person, being attracted to her as a person and not like, like in that kind of way. I can see him liking her just as a friend and not like, hey, I want to get with you. But I can see it, to me, I can see it going either way. I can see him talking with her and then them taking so long to get a text. And he just maybe started to like her. Like, oh, I like this girl. She real cool. So there you go. No, I mean, I could see it going either way. But either way, it still is nobody's business. It's his business. So it to me, it didn't matter whether he dated this girl or was seeing her, liked her or something or not. Either way, that was their business. And I could see it going either, he was vibing with her personality. And I think, like I said, once you have a tattoo and you start sharing so much time with this person, you start sharing time with this person, you're like, you know, I I really liked this person's conversation. Maybe liked her conversation, liked her time, and it could have been nothing. Like it could have truly them just been friends. So I don't understand people were sending her death threats and all that. I heard about that, and it was just dumb because I was like, it could have went either way. It could have really just been, she could have been hanging out like one of the dudes, or it could have been the situation where they were just hanging out because he liked her company. So I don't know, yeah, like yay, new bestie, yeah, like right, like he found somebody else that he could talk to that wasn't in the industry. And I think that's a lot of the allure with it too. So if he was interested in her in a kind of a romantic way, I think it could have went any way because I think JK maybe found her alluring. This person's not in the industry. This person has a whole different vibe than probably anybody he's really met. And he was talking to her and they both like art. She like art, he like art. She's a very good artist. And so they had that common ground. And I think he was just sitting in a tattoo chair getting and they just had conversation. And he could have been like, this person is really different. I like her, like she's different than anyone I've ever met. And it could have, because she really gives off this real cool vibe. Like I looked at her stuff online, people were talking about, she just gives off a real cool girl kind of vibe. And I said, I can see him really vibing, like, oh, I really like this person. Something different. It's someone different. And so, like I said, to me, it could have went either way. But that was a whole situation. But I could see him dating her. And so my video this week, I'm going to talk about dating rumors and how fans be playing Where's Waldo and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and trying to figure out. Yeah, fans are crazy and weird. And then I'm going to talk about how fans are, trying to I spy and try to figure out people and how utterly ridiculous it is on so many levels. Because if somebody is dating somebody, I could say, if somebody's dating somebody and you guys are together at a restaurant with a group of people, you're not going to take selfies and post it on your social media. And then they're going to take a selfie and post it on the social media around the same time or a couple of days apart. Like that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, idols date all the time and we never know about it. They're not going to be dumb enough to get on social media and start snapping photos of them at a place or have someone take photos and post on their social media and they're sitting right next to each other. Like, why would anybody even do that? They understand, they know fans are not stupid and they know that fans are going to put two and two together. The company jumped right in and denied, yeah, they did. They were friends. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, the company jumped in there and said, and again, I think it could have went either way, but I really think that he just met someone cool and just wanted to hang around with somebody different. But yeah, I'm going to do a whole commentary video talking about how asinine and stupid it is. These Where's Waldo, I Spy with my little eye fan pairings that people do. Because some of the quote unquote evidence I've seen for different fans, different K-idols dating, it logically, business-wise makes no sense. Logically makes no sense. And it's bizarre to me that two people are dating and they're trying to keep it a secret, that they would go on social media, each one of them, and post anything similar to each other. K-pop idols are not idiots. They're not stupid. They're not dumb. K-pop idols understand, and they do date. But they would never get on social media and start posting pictures. Yeah, fans be right, Marie. Fans be seeing things that ain't even there. I'll be like, what are y'all talking about? I know 4 K-pop idols that are shit. I know quite a few of them. Their rumors came up. The reason I'm bringing up this video, their rumors came out lately about V dating somebody from IVE, just because they were at the same restaurant and it was not in the same week. And so I was like, why y'all? Then there are people like, well, she took a picture of her cup and this is the same marble that's on his table. I'm like, it wasn't. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I'm like, okay. I'm gonna talk about that too in my video, Shelling P. I don't understand a couple items. Well, this person had this bag and this other person had this bag. I'm like, they can't have the same bag. I'm like, but the fans didn't spot and figured out Jimin's girl. They didn't. She posted stuff online. Song Duan posted the stuff online herself. She posted videos. She posted all of that stuff herself. That's a whole nother comment. Now, if somebody get online and posting the stuff themselves, that's a different story. But fans putting somebody got the same shoe and the same, I'm just like, look, this person went to Subway 3 weeks ago. This is the same Subway that this person went to. And they just posted that they ate a Subway. So I'm just like, you do know they can go to the, I'm like, why as an idol would I be dating someone and I would ever in my right mind take a picture of any couple's ring or item and then post it on my social media? And why would the other person do the same? Like, that makes no sense. I spent all night being dumbfounded by that notion. Like, I don't understand. Yes, like well, this person has this person's sweater. I'm like, I'll be looking at the sweaters going, well, that ain't even the same sweater. Like, that ain't even the same material. It looks similar, but I'm like, what are y'all talking about? The sweaters and the shirts and the shoes and the hat or whatever the hell it is, it don't even be looking the same. It be the wrong color, the wrong shape. I'm like, and then it'd be something really generic. Like, really generic. Like, really generic. Like, somebody will come on here carrying a black bag, and then somebody else, another singer will have a black bag. I'm like, are they sharing the bag? What are they doing? The bag, did they got visitation rights on the bag? Like, it makes no sense. Why would I date someone famous and wear their shirt and take pictures and put it on the internet, on my public social media? Cause I'm like, I be telling people, you do know these K-pop singers have their own, they have private social media. So if they want to post cutesy couple shit, why would they post that on their company social media? They have private social media. I don't know any idols that don't have private social media. All idols have private social media, y'all. Most of them. There's some that may not have any. They don't do social media, but all idols that I have ever heard of have private social medias. Yes, and companies do sell. Yes, they just because it's a striped shirt, I'm like, okay, they have stores all over the place and online stores. It's a striped shirt, so somebody else is not going to buy it. I said, is that the criteria? Y'all wearing the same shirt? Well, what if we bought the same shirt at the same? I'm like, well, I guess I'm dating somebody. So I guess if me and Suga we both wear black shirts. I guess we dating. Suga got a plain black shirt on, bitch. I got a plain black shirt too. Daddy Yoongi time, bitch. Daddy Yoongi time. Like, what is that? I'm like, okay. I'm like, so they can't buy the same shirt from the same brand? And then a lot of times they don't even be a child. I said, that's a whole nother conversation. A lot of times they don't even be buying the shirts. A lot of times they wear things and they get it from the damn stylist. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just going to keep it real. A lot of times they wear stuff and they got it from the stylist. The stylist will put them in certain things, especially depends on where they're at. What picture is it out in public? The stylist will bring them things. It's curious because they want to know what kind of love relationship. Why? I don't understand that care. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in another video probably next week is about people's obsessed with their love. I don't understand the obsession with their love lives. I'm like, K-pop singers, they vary just like we do. There are some K-pop singers that don't really date a lot. There are K-pop singers who date a lot. There are some K-pop singers that it's just situational. There's some K-pop singers that only date people in the industry. There's some K-pop singers that only date people out of the industry, or they prefer not to date people exactly like other singers. There are a lot of female K idols. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of female K idols do not like to date male idols. That's from what I have been told by many different people. A lot of the female idols don't like the male idols. They consider them kind of like creeps. Like I'm sure some of y'all have heard this before, but that is true. They consider them creeps. A lot of them have been hit on by male idols, propositioned by male idols, and a lot of the female idols they think they're creeps. They do. They think they're creeps. Like I found out that my friend told me. She's like, oh, I talked to a lot of. She works with. Like I said, my friend works in the business, and she talks to the lady idols. Like she gets to know them, and they be like, ooh, girl, this he came and hit on me, girl, and he a creep. I don't like. Or I heard that he been with a bunch of women, or I heard that he love them and leave them. And so they rumor mills spread quickly in the K-pop world. So they know which ones to avoid, honey. But a lot of them don't date the male idols because they're scared of scandals, scared of dating scandals, and they a lot of times they just think that they're creeps. They do. They think that they're creeps. That they act. Some of the male idols do act a bit abrasive. They are very like in your face about certain, and that's just Korean men, period. But they're really in your face about what they want. Like they'll tell female idols and start talking to them and tell them that they only want sex. Like they just want the physical, and that they, at least they're being honest. But a lot of the female idols, they get offended. Like, is that all you Kakao messaging me all day because you're trying to get? So you never know with a male idol. I've heard what their intentions is. Are they really trying to get to know you and get to know you and be with you, or are they just trying to hit it and quit it? That's the problem with the female idols. I hear from their end. They think that a lot of the male idols are just trying to hit it and quit it. That they're not really trying to be serious because they understand it's harder for them to sneak around when both people are famous. And so a lot of times they just want to hook up. They don't want anything like lasting. They don't want to be your boyfriend. They just want to hook up whenever you're in town. And some female idols, they're okay with that. Yeah, the one with V's necklace that was initial JV, so he was saying like, y'all know how I feel about V and Jenny. Companies be grifting things, then they know they're gonna wear it and they get free. Yeah, a lot of companies do give artists free stuff. Artists get a lot of free shit, y'all. I've talked about this before. That artists get a lot of free things to wear, a lot, jewelry, watches. I said all that stuff. Y'all be talking about, oh, this person's wearing a $20,000 watch or whatever. I'm like, yeah, the watch is worth $20,000, but I doubt that they paid for that. A lot of times they'll do photo shoots and they give them things to wear. A lot of times companies, part of their ambassadorship and branding deals, they give them whole like bag loads of free shit. Like whenever they become a brand ambassador, the company will just, the brand will just give them lots of things. Lots of clothes, lots of bags, lots of hats, lots of shoes. They pretty much have access to anything that they want, Yeah, some of the idols are like men in real world. There's creeps everywhere. There's creeps everywhere. They're everywhere, especially in the cable. Like y'all should already know from the things that have been exposed over the past 10 years or so. Y'all should already know what goes down in the K-pop world. When Burning Sun hit, Burning Sun should have been an eye-opener to all K-pop fans. All of y'all. What the male K-pop fans are doing. Burning Sun, I tell people all the time, is not an isolated incident. It is not. They put the people that were supposed to take the fall for Burning Sun took the fall. There were a lot of K-pop singers in those chat groups. I'm telling you, I have heard things. I can do a whole live stream where I talk about Burning Sun because that was one of the first things I started asking people about the Burning Sun shit. There were a lot of people in those chat rooms, a lot of K idols in those chat rooms. There are a lot of K idols in the nth rooms. There were a lot of entertainment people in these chats, Burning Sun, watching these videos. There are people who saw these videos that are still K-pop singers today, that are in the industry, that saw these fucking videos and watched these videos and had these videos saved on their phones. But they deleted them, and whoever had to take the fall for Burning Sun took the fall for Burning Sun because there were a lot of people in these groups. They had over 100,000 people in these groups watching these videos of these women passed out being essayed. So I tell people, if you want to know what goes down in behind the scenes in Korea, Burning Sun in the Nth Room will tell you enough what you need to know. That there are a bunch of creeps, not just in the industry, but just in the world, period. But the Burning Sun thing should have put fans on notice. The Moon Tae-il thing should have put everybody on notice. That this is a lot of these K-pop singers are in clubs in Hongdae and other places in Seoul and Itaewon picking up foreign girls and having sex with them. Like this happens. This goes on. And not foreign girls, Korean girls too. I tell y'all, I heard story. I tell y'all the story all the time. And my friend told me that the member of a legendary K-pop group was doing the do with fans. I tell y'all this all the time. I said I won't say the person's name. Some of y'all guessed who it was, and I said I ain't gonna say nothing, but okay. But yes, I heard back in the second generation, it was. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to come on here and do a video and we're going to talk about the second generation. And we really going to talk about the second generation because there are some, I'm going to do another video. I did a video about things that go on K-pop, but I'm going to do another video about things that go on K-pop. And then we're going to have a live stream room where I'm going to have it out because I need to get this off my chest because there are things that went on the second generation that I've been learning more and more in the past 2 weeks that made my jaw drop. Like there are things that I have seen and heard and people have told me were around during that time. There's a lot of partying going on during the second generation. There's a lot of hoeing going on. There was a lot of wild things going on in the second generation. When K-pop was actually, the second generation, by the way, if you don't know, is like 2003 to 2013, 12, 13, like a 10-year period. It's called the golden age of K-pop for a reason. It is what pushed K-pop forward internationally and also domestically. Second generation is the golden age of K-pop for a reason because of the music, the innovation, the companies that were created, but then also because during that time, there was a lot of partying. There's a lot of things that went on in K-pop that have stuck to this day. And then there's some things that have just went away that people don't really do anymore, thank God. And then there's some things that they need to bring back. But I need to talk about the second generation. I will come on here and we're going to have it out. Well, I'll tell you about the second generation and the things that I have learned that made my jaw drop, what really was going on out here in these streets back in the day. That it was crazy. Like the second generation, matter of fact, I'm going to pull up a music video. Because I'm gonna do another video about people. I get annoyed with K-pop. I get annoyed with K-pop fans because K-pop fans act like everything that goes on today with the fourth and the fifth generations are what is always going on. I have heard so many people like the beauty standards and this and this and this, and I'm finna show y'all. I'm gonna pull up a music video and I'm gonna show y'all what was going on in this. If you didn't know, I'm going to show y'all, narrate and tell y'all what was going on in the second generation. And after I do this, I'm going to get off this live stream. But I'm going to show you a Big Bang video that was done in, let me see what year this was done in. This is 2009. Okay. So 2009 wasn't that long ago. People act like 2009 was like forever ago and it was ancient. It wasn't that long ago, y'all. So we're going to turn the light on. And then I'm going to show you a video and we're going to look at this video. Okay, this is a Big Bang video. Now I'm going to pause it because we're going to notice things. First of all, this Big Bang video, there's girls. Okay, so there's girls. You know, there's not really a lot of girls and there's no girls in music videos today. There's Taeyang looking sexy, looking hot, daddy. Hey, daddy. Hey, there's the big burning sun. Now, as we watch this video, wait a minute, hold on, let me back up. Let me back up a little bit. We gonna go through this video. I'm gonna pause at certain points. I'm getting ready up to it. You know, there's girls in the video. They at a club. When's the last time you seen the K-pop video where they at a club? They not at a club. Now here we go. Let me see if I can pause it. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me keep going. Let me go back a little bit. Wait, hold on. Let me pause. Let me run it again. I'm gonna pause it for you just in case you missed it. Y'all miss it? I'm sure y'all probably missed it, but here we go. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Okay, now look. Now what's she wearing? This is second generation, y'all. This is second generation. Okay, now what's she doing? Girl, what you doing? I had to zoom in. Okay, this chick, I don't know what she's wearing here, but it's obvious her breasticles is out. Her brassieres. I don't know what this is right here, but I assume this is definitely not a safety shorts or a safety bra. Her tickle bitties is hanging out. She dancing. She looking good, pretty girl. But girl, like what is happening here? This is second generation. These are grown people. So let's continue. They dancing. They at the club, girl. They kicking it up. Ain't nobody care about you burning sun. We know why you're there. We know why he's there. Okay. So we TLP is there. This video is a whole ass vibe. The other girl was shaking again. Okay, what's she doing? Wait a minute. Let me go back. Yep. Okay, let's go back. Let's see what she doing, girl. I don't know what them two girls, I don't know what they was doing. This is second generation, y'all. This 2009, it wasn't that long ago. You know, it wasn't that long. What's she doing? What was she on the table doing? What was she doing on the table? We just gonna let it go. What? Yeah, to sing it, tell you, it's shaking it, girl. They shake it. I don't know what she was doing. What, ladies? What are y'all doing? What are we doing? Girl, was your ass in the camera? Oh, you love this song? So I tell people, wait a minute. So here we get to the part that I'm really going to illuminate and highlight the farce of K-pop fans today. Because, okay, now Taeyang is finna dance with old girl, okay? He dancing with old girl. Old girl's dancing. Okay, we gonna pause it. Okay, you he dancing with old girl. Tell me some things that you noticed in this video. Wait a minute, let me go back. I hit the button. So they dancing, right? Taeyang. What do you notice about this, ladies and gentlemen? Let's give a key teaching class. First of all, we want to talk about the Korean beauty standard that people act like do she look like she be in the Korean beauty standard? Do she look like this beautiful young lady? Does she look like any Korean chick that you've seen today? Yeah, leave the outfits alone. Does Thickle McThick thighs, beautiful girl, does she look like any girl that would be in a music video with that curvy body? She is obviously a curvy girl. Did he just smack her on the ass? Yes. She is obviously a curvy girl. You would never. What do K-pop fans say? Oh my God, the Korean beauty standard. You got to be really thin. In 2009, you didn't. So what happened? Also, did you know about? Let's talk about something else that y'all didn't notice about. Look at all these females, right? Look at all these females. Look, they beautiful. These beautiful ladies. Look at Big Bang. Look at Big Bang. They dancing, girl. Yeah, they getting it, girl. Work it, daddy, work it. So as you look at Big Bang and you look at all these women, and I don't know what they're doing in the corner. I don't know what she was doing, girl. What is one thing that we failed to notice? Let's move on. They got stripper poles. Okay, so we're gonna look at the stripper pole. Yes, they had stripper poles, girl. Yeah, they had stripper poles back in the day. Yeah, they like she on the pole. They're on the pole. They're on the pole. Just shaking it, just ass everywhere, just on the pole. I appreciate a good stripper pole. You know, I love a good stripper pole. You would never see this in a K-pop video. You would never see that. What was she doing? What was she doing, girl? What was she been doing? What's she doing? What's she doing, girl? What's she doing, girl? What you doing? You hanging out with Big Bang over there, girl? I know. Sometimes you got to get on here to ride the pole, girl. Old girl ass was all on the pole. Did y'all see her ass was on the pole? Let's see it again. Let's watch it again. Let's just bask in the glory of the stripper pole. I like to bask in the glory. Let's go, girl. Ass all on the pole. All on the pole. Now, you would never see that these days. And then another thing I'm going to, because you can tell I watch a lot of Big Bang. Y'all see I'm watching a lot of Big Bang. Let me see. Can I find another video? Let's see. Let me see if I can find another, because Big Bang always had the girls dancing, right? So let's fast forward a little bit more. We're gonna fast forward a little bit more, and I'm gonna point out something that is real weird that most people don't really notice. Even though we gonna play the Big Bang, let's go to another video. Let's see what video we gonna play. Y'all see I watch a lot of Big Bang. I've been researching. Wait a minute, I don't want a concert video. I want a video. But anyway, let's see. I want a video. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, they have a very 90s R&B feel, but I'm trying to find another one of their videos. Taeyang. Let's see. Let me try this one. Okay, I'm gonna try this one. We're gonna see what this one. Let me see. We got any chicks in it? They have this young lady in the video. She's barely in the video though, but this is when it was good. This was in the good in the hood. Like, it's good. Let me see if I can find another video. Let's see. Let's try this one. We're gonna try this one. Let me see if there's any ladies in the video, because I'm gonna point out something real weird to y'all that y'all gonna be like, okay, lady, just lady in the video. She lady, okay. Let me see if I can find anything else. Y'all have any other chicks? Okay, well, I got the ladies in the background. Big Bang always had ladies in the background dancing. They always had ladies in the back. Let's go to this video. Let me see, and then I will be able to show. This is their comeback special. Y'all tell I'm on it, y'all. I'll be watching this stuff. Let's see. Here are the ladies in the background. Here are the ladies. This was like 2011. Big Bang started so much, they did. They started a lot. This is when things started to have, let's see, this was in 2015. This is the slide started. So 2015, things started to change. But if you go back to these old videos, like I said, the ones in 2009 and 2010, the thing about it is, like I said, what I've noticed is, first of all, the women's shape is different. For everybody who talks about, I said about K-pop and about the girls and about the K-pop, the K beauty standards, that is a recent thing. This has not always been a thing. Women used to actually look like this in the early 2000s in South Korea. I've seen it. Another thing that y'all forgetting, what do we notice about all these people in this damn video? What do we notice about Big Bang? Even about them. Everybody, look, skin tone. They not as pale. That's the other thing I want y'all to realize. That's another thing. For all this talk about Korean beauty standards and all this talk about this is just how Korea does it. And I sit here and deal with 20-somethings who weren't around during this time. I wasn't even around this time. I wasn't a K-pop fan then. But to deal with people telling me what Korean beauty standards are as if this has been set in stone for thousands and thousands of years. Like, this goes back to the Joseon period and shit. Like, we the three kingdoms in this bitch with the beauty standard. It is not true. If you go look at Korean people, if you go back and look at Korean people in the 90s and in the early 2000s, they were not as skinny and they were not as pale. That's just the honest to God truth. It is a lie and a narrative that people try to get online and tell you, well, this is just like the same thing with dating. People get online and tell you, well, Korean idols, they have to look a certain way and be, so since when? Because again, looking at these Big Bang videos, they had chicks on there that was thick'em McThick'ems. They weren't too skinny. They weren't too pale. These women weren't pale. These artists weren't pale. The Korean beauty standard is what it is because people have made it this way and people have accepted this narrative as if Koreans have had the same beauty standard since 3, 4, 500 years. They have not. I'm telling y'all, the Korean beauty standard has changed. And K-pop is a part of that. But the idea that people try to tell me, well, idols have to do this and idols have to look like this. And I'm like, but it doesn't match what history tells us, because history tells me that idols didn't used to be stick thin. They didn't used to be stick thin. They didn't used to have porcelain skin. This is a narrative that's pushed because, and again, we're not talking about some 30, 40, 50 years ago. 2010 is not that long ago. So 15 years ago, within the past 15 years, the beauty standards for idols has changed. The look of what an idol and a female idol look like has radically changed. And the fact, and I find it really odd that nobody brings this up. And I'm like, I'm watching old videos and I'm like, well, they look a little dark. And I'm like, well, maybe, I'm like, let me watch another video. Oh, they do look a little tan. Let me watch another video. They look a little tan there, look a little tan there. Let me watch another group. They look a little tan too. I'm like, what happened? Again, whatever happened. I understand beauty standards evolve over the years. But again, the way K-pop stans talk about, they act like this has been going on. This is part of ancient Korean history. It is not. The K-beauty industry has increased in the past 10 to 15 years. Plastic surgery came into play. Korean makeup companies, cosmetic companies, all of these things have come into play in the past 15 to 20 years. So no, don't nobody get up here and tell me that every Korean chick got to be 5'2" and weigh 90 pounds soaking wet, and their skin got to be the same color as my motherfucking toilet. Like, no, that wasn't a thing. If you look at pictures, I went back and looked at videos of Koreans in the 1990s. They didn't look anything like what they do now. Like, there's been a lot of plastic surgery. There's been a lot of skin injections. There's been a change in the Korean beauty standard. So don't tell me that K-pop has been like this and this is how it's always been. No, this is new. And I tell people all the time, I said, no, this is new. No, it's always been like that. I'm like, no, second generation wasn't like that. You had girls who were of a healthy weight. You had women who had tan skin. You had artists that had tan skin. Plastic surgery, yeah, everybody gets it now. Yeah, some of the art look weird. I sat there and I did a live stream where I told y'all, I showed a video where it just like the plastic surgery is like getting really strange. And I tell people all the time, like, the narrative pushed out there is like everything that we do now in K-pop is how it's always been. It's just, I'm like, I don't know who's pushing this narrative, but it's not. Well, K-idols can't date. They did in the second generation. They did date. They dated. It wasn't a big deal. People was just like, like I said in my video, they had a show, had dating shows. I was like, what is this? And someone's like, well, you do know they had a show called We Got Married. I said, what is that? They were like, oh, it's a dating show where they put two idols together and they put them in a reality show. Two idols? Yeah, like they were married. Wait, what? Yeah, girl. Da. I looked it up. I was like, oh, I'm like, okay. So the idea that idols are not supposed to dance with women, that is insane to me. The fact that idols, well, they're idols and they can't, the second generation, they're running around with no shirt on. I sat there and watched an hour worth of Rain videos. I was like, y'all do know back in the day, Rain was running around with no shirt on. Like, he was just out here with no shirt on. Like, and then y'all acting like now if a fucking idol shows a shoulder blade, y'all are like, oh my God. I was like, how in the hell did K-pop change so quickly in just 15 years? It's something that keeps me up at night. Like, I just keep watching video after video going, so we regressed back into, because Korea's conservative. I tell you all the time, I said, no, Korea's not that really that. And the only people who really say this shit over and over again is Korea's conservative is usually a lot of time foreigners. But I'm like, the Korea that I know is not very conservative. The Korea that I know, I'm like, I know Korean guys and They always talking about sex all the time. I'm like, that's all they talk about is sex, 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 sex. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Korea's conservative. K-pop is wants to push this conservative narrative. So that's what I tell y'all. When y'all look at these idols and y'all like I tell people, K-pop is like meat. You know, K-pop is like meat. Like you love sausage and love hot dogs. And then once you find out how they made, you're kind of like, oh yeah. And that's how I feel about K-pop. Once I started figuring how things really go in K-pop, it changes my whole view of everything. Like everything I look at with suspicion, and I'm like, is this a PR move? What's going on here? I'm like, oh, why are they doing this? Like, because I understand from people working the business, they're like, that's fake, that's not real, that's a setup, this does this, that goes that way. I'm like, oh, I'm like, and so once you see it, you can't. So it's like once you know where the sausage is made, like either you don't have a taste for the sausage anymore, or you respect it and understand it. You're like, okay, I know how the sausage is made. I know what they do with the pig. I know they grind it. Okay, so either you can keep eating the sausage, but you always look at the sausage like I know how it's made. And so once you see how K-pop really goes, you become a bit jaded to it. Like I don't really know. Rain never had a shirt on, girl. No, they didn't get Puritan from the Burning Sun. They get the, from what I can tell, the regression into conservatism in K-pop. I don't want to divulge into conspiracy, but I really think the K-pop agency has pushed this narrative. The K-pop agencies decided. I don't know if they all got together and collected. Like I don't want to be that conspiratorial, but they all decided that they made much more money by marketing K-pop to younger audiences. If they figured that if they can just make it as unoffensive as possible, that more people would consume it. So they dumbed down K-pop. They stripped everything fun about K-pop, everything that was varied about, because again, K-pop, you had Girls' Generation and you had, girlfriend concepts, and you had schoolgirl concepts. Like you had all of these things. But then at the other end of the spectrum, you had TVXQ, VIX, and you had Reina, and you had Big Bang. So there was a variety of K-pop. So yes, you had the girl next door concepts, and you had the really PG family friendly groups. And then you had the groups that were running around with no damn shirt on. Then you had the groups that had booty shorts on and thongs. Like it was something for everybody. The K-pop industries realized that they can make more money by appealing to younger audiences. And that's what happened. And they sanitized K-pop to the point where it's almost as if they want to erase the first and the second, and now down to the third generation. BTS is generation 3. So without BTS being as big as they were, it just seems like the K-pop industry agencies have made a concerted effort to erase the first, second, and third generations. It's like we don't really talk about the first and the second. Why is that? It's weird. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that we don't talk about? And it's on the internet. It's not like and again, we're not talking about shit that happened in the 90s. Like, I'm not talking about 92, 93. K-pop wasn't around then. I'm talking about 2010. 15 years ago? Y'all was hugging stripper poles and smacking asses? 15 years ago, y'all were doing that. Now all of a sudden we so sanitized that people like, well, K-pop can't do that. But K-pop used to do that. And then people act like deer in the headlights. Like I feel like I'm on a bizarro land. I was like, don't y'all know the history of your own Have you ever watched the second generation video? They're like, no. Okay, well then don't tell me that K-pop has always been like something when you don't even know the history of it. And so I find it really odd that in 15 years, we have went from innovative, kind of raunchy K-pop to having a variety in K-pop to now this standardized cookie cutter TikTok generation kind of vibe. Because the K-pop industries, I feel, want you to forget that K-pop used to be raunchy. I think that they put in a concerted effort to try to clean up and sanitize K-pop as a way to appeal to more audiences, true. But I find it very odd that people don't even know that that it used to be. I find it very suspicious that this narrative is pushed out there that everybody has to have porcelain skin and that's how it's always been. Everybody has to be super sick thin and that's how it always been. You couldn't have you gotta have a flat ass and no titties. That's how it's always been. And I'm just like, but no, they used to have ass and titties. Like I don't, it was a thing. They used to have butts. They had butts. They were shaking them. And then people just act like they don't even know what you're talking about when you bring up the fact that they used to have music videos with girls and they would kiss girls in music videos and they would dance with girls. And now you can't even put in hype and couldn't even put some girls in the video without fan. I'm like, well, why are y'all? I'm like, you do know we had 20 years of females and males in videos with just okay. And then people act like this is how it's always been. So I find it a really, really odd revisionist history. It's like kind of like I feel like the history of K-pop is being wiped out. And I feel some kind of way about that. I just feel like I'm like, so we just gonna forget the history of music that, and I understand why a lot of second generation fans have a chip on their shoulder because they feel like their experience and their music has been wiped clean from the history books that nobody ever talks about it. Nobody really talks about second generation. And I'm just like, but why? I'm like, why don't y'all ever talk about second generation and what was going on then? Nobody wants to, everybody just be like, well, I don't know. And then people don't even know. And I'm like, but y'all don't even know what was, but I'm like, just videos on the internet. It's not like it's hard to find. Like, just, it's weird. It is so weird to me that I'm just like, people are like, I feel like I'm in some kind of like matrix where like, I feel like I'm in the matrix where like somebody wiped whole history and it's like, we're just going to start from this point. I'm like, K-pop didn't start with the third generation, like, or the fourth, but y'all act like it did. I'm like, so again, I don't want to divulge into conspiracy theory, but that's just my observation that I'm going to talk about in the video this week, how I feel like K-pop history is being erased. Like, I just feel like this is it's purposeful. So I don't know. I don't know. Basically waiting until BTS hiatus, military says, before they're able to promote it. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many groups out there and I'm just, it's wild. ATP says it's wild because when I started into K-pop, if you didn't know about the previous generations, folks would look at you sideways. You had to show respect to the ones before. ATP, you don't even have to do that now. Now you talk to these young people, fourth, fifth generation, they have no idea. They're like, oh, they've heard of group. They've heard of Big Bang, but they've never seen their videos. They've heard of Girls' Generation. They've maybe heard of a song or two, but I'm like, have you really watched their videos and then watched their videos and paid attention? I'm like, look at how they look. Look at Mamamoo. Look how Mamamoo and Hyuna looked back then. Hyuna and Mamamoo was not 110-pound stick figures. They were grown, sexy women. I'm like, so your whole music genre has changed and your whole standard of beauty has changed in just 15 years? So not everybody is porcelain and weigh 50 pounds and everybody got to starve themselves? I mean, they were keeping weight things back in the day. You know, they had weight requirements. But now it's like crazy now. I'm like, but that's the agency wanting to do that. And like I said, I can't help but think it's on purpose. I can't help but think that the agencies don't want trainees to know what happened a long time ago, because maybe trainees will see these old videos and be like, well, can we go back to that? Because I tell people you can go back. Like, nothing is set in stone in K-pop. K-pop has evolved over the years. I'm like, you know, y'all can always go back. Like, you can, if somebody would just take the initiative, you can bring back girls in your videos. You can bring back dancing with men in your videos. You can have K-pop artists dating if you guys would let it. You could look at the first and second generations and be like, I want that. I want K-pop to be grown and sexy again. You can keep the illets and the young groups and the TWS and the boys next door. That's fine. But I don't want 30-year-old men looking like 20-year-olds. Like, I want them to be grown. I want them to be like, okay, we're going to have sexy songs and we're going to talk about relationships and women and about our experiences. And I want them to I want BTS to be 30-something-year-old men talking about 30-something-year-old men shit. I don't want them to be up there like, oh, we got to act like little kids and we got to act like neutered pets and we got to act like we're not sexual and we got to act like, because that's how K-pop is now. That's how K-pop is now. I just want somebody to jailbreak K-pop. I just want somebody to be like, look, we're going to be grown. We're going to have sexy. We're going to have women in our videos. We're going to have women in our videos. We're not going to be singing to cactuses. We're not going to be dancing on a desert, singing about love and sex and romance. And we just a bunch of men talking. God knows I love ATs, and they talking about in your fantasy. And the video was cute, but I'm just like, okay, so there's no women in this video. Like y'all talking about in your fantasy, and it's just y'all up on stage dancing, and that's great. But I'm just like, to me, in your fantasy should have had some hot, sexy women dancing with y'all, or they could have sat in some chairs and you know, the women could have, you know, put their leg up. They could have sat in some chairs and the women could have danced around them. Like, I wanted in your fantasy, I wanted to see ATs sit in chairs or sit on thrones. And while they had some women tastefully dressed, it don't have to be raunchy, but it would have been nice if they would have had some girls in the video, and the girls would have sat there, and the girls would have dipped a little bit, would have dipped a little low, and would have backed it up a little bit, and they could have had a little segment. They could have broke it down, and that would have been in your fantasy. I would have been like, okay, that's a good song. It would have been appropriate. But they don't do that. It's just like, we're gonna sing all these titillating songs about sex and fantasies, but then we don't have no females in the videos, or the women gonna talk about, you know, men and all this. I'm tired of the girl power songs. I'm tired of Espa talking about I am a rich man. Girl, I get it. Girl power. I'm tired of the girl power anthems. I want a female group to be like, you know what? He looking good. He looking hot. I wish he'd come over tonight. Like that's what I need girl groups to sing. Girl power, when women, and yeah, I'm like, yeah, girl, yeah. But then I'm like, kind of like, okay, well, you know, or then they sing a song about heartbreak, and I'm like, ooh, girl, that's it. I just want to hear a song about we finna go out, we finna party, we finna hang out with some dudes. We may hook up tonight. It may or may not happen. I don't know. Or we just women, and we see men, and these men looking, and girl is, what happened to the K-pop songs when they talk about men looking hot? There used to be second generation K-pop songs where they talk about men looking good. They would be like, I see him from across the room. I see him from across the room. There was K-pop songs talking about looking at a man from across the room. Or they're at school and they're blushing, you know, like, you know, the boy's sitting in the class and he's looking at her and she's looking at him and she blushing. They don't even do that anymore. They don't even do like high school love scenario. They don't do no, even BTS did that. BTS did songs where they had girls in the video, where they talked about, you know, hello, 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 hello. You know, they did that song, which was kind of controversial. But I'm like, okay, how y'all gonna do a song about blushing and crushing, and then there's no crush in the video? I'm just like, that's kind of weird. So I want K-pop to be more realistic, you know. Bring back 21 and Sistar. Yeah, Brown Eyed Girls, bring them back. Yeah, Seven came to America and tried to enter the market in 2009. Most K-pop fans are older. K-pop is not dominated by a bunch of little girls. That's another narrative I talk about all the time being pushed out there. Everybody I know like on a social level that has a K-pop group, or like when I say K-pop group, I mean they have a K-pop group online. They're middle-aged women. Most of the K-pop fans for BTS, I know in particular, are in their late 20s, early 30s. They are not young girls. The idea that gets pushed out there that, oh, K-pop fans are just little young girls. Yes, there are young girls who are casual K-pop fans. But when you're talking about organization, when you're talking about groups online, Reddit groups, when you're talking about projects, when you're talking about K-pop fans donating and pushing certain things, young people don't have the resources or the know-how to do all that. These are grown people. So when you talk about Purple Ribbon projects, or when you talk about the Stray Kids initiatives and stuff like that, these are not young kids. 17-year-olds don't know how to organize their way out of a paper bag. So these are grown women. The power behind the fandom is grown people like me. We have the resources, we have the knowledge, and we have the time. people who are kids or grown up and out of the house. I mean, I'm not one of those people, but I am of a certain age. But the ones going to the concerts, when I go to concerts, there's people in their 20s and 30s because they have the resources. They have a job, they have the resources, they have the money. We older fans, we are the backbone of the K-pop industry. Without us, there would be no K-pop fandom because we bring the money. We have the disposable income. We are grown. I'm grown. I have a career. I have a job. I have a career. Somebody who's 20 years old, who's just starting out in life, who's in college, doesn't have enough money to buy all the albums and all the merch and go to all the concerts and do all the things. They may do it once a year, but that's it. But when you're talking about fan organizing, fan meets and between the fans, I mean, and organizing things online and doing, the backbone of the fandom is older fans. Because we just, if somebody's 50 years old and their kids are adults, they ain't got nothing but time. Your kids are out of the house. Your kids are teenagers or in 20s. They're in college. They're living their life. You're a K-pop fan. You have nothing but time. You have nothing but time to go to Korea. You have nothing but time to get online for 3 hours and talk about K-pop. 17-year-olds will not be online making YouTube channels talking about K-pop for over 3 hours. They don't have the time. They're like, I got to go to bed. My mom's calling me. We are the backbone of all of these fandoms. Don't have anybody tell y'all different. Without our money and our time and our energy and our resources and our maturity and our knowledge set, these fandoms would fall apart. Every group, every single damn group, it would fall apart. Army, Stays, 18s, everybody. Blinks, all the people who fuel the fandom are the ones that are in their 20s and 30s because we have the time, especially if you don't have any kids. Then you really have the time to follow your group around and get online and interact. The young kids, they like, I'm in college, I'm in university, I don't have time for all that. Or I'm in high school, I don't have time, I don't have the resources, I don't have time, I'm trying to get a job, I'm trying to go to school, I gotta deal with my parents nagging me. They don't have time for all that. But us older friends, we do. So yeah, we are the backbone of the industry. And I get tired of the industry catering to young kids because catering to young kids brings the engagement. I do admit the young people bring the clicks and the views on the internet, on TikTok. A lot of us older ones, we don't really care about that too much, but they bring a lot of the engagement on the internet, the young ones. And that's what the agencies are looking for. They want free advertising. So they're looking to see who brings the most clicks and the views and the TikTok dance challenges. Those are the young folks. But at the end of the day, they have to realize that the grown and sexy, that we push the industry, that we move the industry, not the young kids. The young kids bring the engagement, but we bring all the tangibles. We bring all the money. We buy all the makeup. We buy all the, we're at Jin, the 21s and overs. We out here buying G-Dragon alcohol and Jin alcohol. It ain't the young kids over here selling out G-Dragon's alcohol. G-Dragon's alcohol is sold out because of adults, not because of kids. Merchandise sells out not because of kids, because of adults. The people out here that I know buying multiple albums are people in their 40s and 50s. I see a bunch of older K-pop fans that are my age, and they're buying, they can drop $60 on a light stick. They can spend $300-400 on albums. Little kids cannot. They don't have that kind of income. So I just want the industry to kind of give us an adult something a little bit more adult that we could kind of groove to. It doesn't have to be a whole album, but I'm like, just give us something a little bit more grown that we like, okay, like, all right, for the grown folks. So, many armies are grown up women. Like, yeah, many armies are. We will forever be that way, and it's just how it is. Like, we are, like I said, the backbone of the industry. And one day the industry may realize that. But right now I gotta let y'all guys go because Jennifer's sending me a message talking about it's almost Monday. Ain't you gotta go to work in the morning? I said, Jennifer, like my mom, like, don't you need to go to work in the morning? I'm like, girl, I'm coming. But anyway, I thank everybody be here. ATP 186, Marie Miller. Yes, Festa 2026. I'm gonna try to be there. Katina, Metaloop, Kay, all the other people, the lurkers that were here. I know some of y'all just come on here and lurk. Jennifer, I know you, Jennifer. I know you up, girl. I know, okay, girl, I'm getting off the live stream, girl. But yes, Festa 2026. I would love for us to set up a meet and greet inside. I would love to go to South Korea during Festa. I would drag my kids along. I would drag them. Hello, Felix. All you stays, I love y'all. Every stay that comes on my live stream, I love the hell out of y'all because y'all always bring the heat. So I love you stays. I love y'all so much. And of course I love Army, but you stays, y'all come to my channel and y'all represent. And so does all my users. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and join memberships. I got some tea dropping in a post, I think in the next couple of days about Suga. I wrote like 2 paragraphs I heard, but I can't really tell y'all. I definitely can't tell y'all about the sugar tea because I heard something. I heard a few things, but I for my members who have a membership, y'all will read it in the post. Well, I'll drop some sugar tea for y'all. I have. I scheduled it. I think I scheduled it for either Monday or Tuesday, and it's like a couple of paragraphs. And I told you what I heard about sugar, and y'all gonna be like, "What?" It's kind of scandalous, but that's what I heard. But y'all take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if even I believe it, but y'all can take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, y'all good night. I'm finna go get me something to drink and see where Mickey's at. Mickey! All right, bye. Mickey! Mickey! Mickey!